Welcome to the Liverpool 12th Man Show. I am the Liverpool 12th Man, just as well as you are as well. If you support the Reds, then you are definitely here for the right time and the right place. We're going to be dealing with a Liverpool win, something that we haven't really been in the common usage of saying as of late. But we definitely got some type of a revenge on the Spurs this past weekend. And we're going to do a rating show here and kind of talk about the game a little bit, maybe highlight some of the points that we thought were, worth talking about. And I've brought along with me the Irishman today. How are you doing?
All good. How are you?
Good. I know there's some other, there's a game today, later on today. I believe it's Man U and Crystal Palace, I want to say.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. So,
yes. Yeah. So definitely want to get into this in case you guys want to watch it with it in the background, or if you want to watch this as well with or before you get to going on to that game. Possibly I want to definitely get this ratings in and kind of just rock through the numbers, rock through the ratings, and kind of get you guys sense of what you thought about the game, and if you think we can pull out these last two victories, which is going to be very interesting as this campaign for this year comes to an end, and also an era comes to an end, which is something that we're all dealing with in our own unique ways. So, Brian, what did you think about the game? What was your takes on the game? Were you pleasantly surprised? Were you was it just run of the mill type? What you pictured? Well, I guess you could say it was what you pictured. I think you picked 4-2, right?
Well, yeah, exactly what I said would happen happened. I said we'd beat them 4. I said we'd beat them 4-2, and I said the reason I thought we beat them 4-2 is because the pressure would be off, and it's two teams that like to attack, and Emerson Royale would have to play at left back, and Mo would get all the space in the world, and pretty much every one of those predictions came true. So I used up all of my true predictions in one match.
Yeah.
So everything else I'm going to say from now on will obviously be wrong. But I can't be surprised because that's exactly how I saw that game panning out. And that's exactly what happened. Right down to the 4-2, right down to Gakpo scoring, Mo scoring, even Robbo.
You didn't have. Let's get it. I'm
saying even Robbo. But I'm saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's not get
come on, man. I've seen you big yourself up before, so give me my time in the sun. But even Robbo was in the mood. It was when he scored. It's going to be one of those games. Everybody's.
Robbo's goal was a good goal too, by the way. Robbo's goal was a smart.
He should try with the right foot.
Football IQ goal.
Maybe go with the right foot more often, because he doesn't do so well with the left. So maybe go with the right foot a bit more often because he slotted it away nice. And Emerson Royale at left back. You could Mo was having the time of his life. He was beating him every 5 minutes. So it was a proper game, just a proper game.
I agree with that. Did you see the? I was gonna say, did you see the bust up between Speaking of Royale, did you see the bust up between him and Romero? Actually,
I did. I saw it, but I had to go, and I just had to go. I missed. I saw until 62 minutes, I think, 63 minutes, and then we had to go. So what was that? 2-0, 3-0 at that stage. So
okay, so you saw it up to 3-0, and then but you didn't see the. Okay, no. Okay. So that's gonna be interesting how your ratings go.
So I can't give a genuine proper. I can get. I can kind of go from what. But I did only unfortunately had no choice but to go, so I only got to see really an hour of the game. But we were in control. I didn't see any of us doing our usual and deciding to try and make a game out of it for 20 minutes, giving them 2 goals. I didn't see that part, thankfully. So I can kind of rate them up to the hour mark, really, and then I'll take what everybody else says.
You'll have to. Yeah, I was about to say you got the good parts basically. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't see
you didn't get to
Harvey's
see
goal.
I don't even know what I mean. Like maybe in the chat, you guys can tell me what you thought as well. Like, what was your like diagnosis, excuse me, of like what you saw kind of unveil after basically after Endo and Robbo were subbed off, basically, is when it started to kind of fall apart a little bit. Because by then it was already 4-0 by the first subs, basically, for because they subbed in, they made their move. They subbed in Madison, they subbed in the Pigeon, and they subbed in Oliver Skip, and took out Royale. And then all of a sudden, all those goals dried up for us somewhat. And then all of a sudden, you could almost, we were doing the trivia, and you could almost like, bet your house that one way or another, most likely, one way or another, Son was going to score. Since we did put a little bit of like, shame on his game, you kind of felt that maybe Richarlison was going to score too. But that's somewhat exactly what happened, man. It's like subbed off. They subbed off Emerson, and basically went into more of an offensive presence, and yeah, everything just fell off right after that. It was kind of weird, definitely kind of weird. Big up to Daryl. Big up, Daryl. How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Stefano, big
As a
up. Hi, Lord. Red for
life.
life. Bonkers.
Yeah.
I said hello to LC Aaron in the chat. A lot of guys are just joining us right now, which is really super cool. Honesty, of course, here from the gate. Big up to Honesty. But yeah, that's kind of was kind of weird how it happened. I know you didn't necessarily see that part, but it was kind of weird, man. Like Robbo came off, Gomez went into left back, and then and it was interesting and cool to see Bichetti get some minutes, but it also meant that you're taking out that presence of Endo and supplementing it with Bichetti, who looked rusty, to say the least.
A very fast-paced game for a lad that's been out for pretty much 8 months now to come into. I'd say, yeah, that was a bit of a strange one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no way he's going anywhere near up to speed. But I suppose you would have been thinking at 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Endo and Mac and Robbo went off, and they brought on Gomez and
Stefan. Yeah.
Who else?
Endo came off. They brought in Stefan, and then Joe came on for Robbo, and then after the goal by the Pigeon, which was, I mean, that was a good goal. I mean, Richarlison looked like he was like prompt and looking to be the savior. I mean, coming in at 4-0, it's going to be hard sledding to kind of get to that point of trying to secure any type of result for your team. But especially in this, what was it? He came in, I think, at like let me see what time when he came in. He came at the 61st minute. So, but yeah, after that goal, that's when we kind of transitioned, because you could kind of tell that some of the guys were a little knackered. We brought in Nunez, we brought in Gravenberch at the 75th minute, and we took out Diaz, who had just been running his tail off, which is almost, you don't even have to say it somewhat nowadays, because we always know that Diaz plays his heart out. And then McAllister also came out, and then we put in Gravenberch. So it was kind of interesting, because at that point we had Gravenberch, Bichetti, and then eventually even we had Harvey Elliott at the time, but eventually even Dominic in our mid three, and that's a unique mid three, to say the least. That's not the mid three that you expect to see, But I'm not saying it's not a talented mid three, but I'm just saying it's
typical end of season job.
what's that?
Typical end of season stuff. You just start seeing all these randomers coming back and all these weird combinations and people going off for like for some applause for the fans or whatever. Yeah, at 4-0 up, you really would have thought, well, I can make these changes here. I can put Dom and Tim in midfield. You're probably not expecting their what did they score 2 goals in like in 5 minutes or something? They must be pretty close together.
Yeah. It was the 77th minute. Sun scored, and the 72nd minute. Richarlison scored, and it was kind of like the Richarlison goal was. I think it was his second attempt on goal because he had another one, but he was offsides. I want to say, I believe he was offsides on one of the attempts. But Hylar puts it well. He puts the Klopp quote here. He says, "Klopp described Bajcetic's entrance like a bike entering a motor highway. Like it did look like he was going to have to get up to speed, and kind of learn on the fly in essence, So
no worries, Robert.
Yeah, no worries, Robert. Definitely no worries.
Hi, Bernie, by the way.
Hello, Bernie. Definitely. Hello, Bernie. And I think I said hello to Bob, just making sure.
That's how I said it as well. It's like coming into a game at that speed. You're just going to be standing there watching. Like you cannot get up to match speed after 8 months without without a hell of a lot of work. So it's just good to see him back. Good to see him back.
No, it's great to see him back. It's great to see him back. I'm hoping that we can see the progression of him, like slowly but surely getting back into like I guess the gist of things, I guess, like as into the rhythm and the pace of the game. That's the primary I want to say. Like you can tell he's a little off, but yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, just to see that he's able to.
Mr. Positive, big up to Rasta. The streets have arrived, people. The streets have arrived. But yes, you're so right. You're so right. Like it'll be good to see him get back up to the pace and speed, and to really kind of get it in there. I don't know why it's that's weird. It says YouTube's trying to mess with us. I guess apparently, Bernadette says keep her feed. The feed is freezing, but just on this channel. That's weird. You're not having any issues, right, Brian?
I'm doing. I'm looking now.
Yeah, I don't see any issues. There's no latency. Like it'll tell me when the feed or something like that is like kind of lagging.
I have it on 2 things here now. It's fine.
I agree. Yeah, Rasta Crabs says the streets are here for this positive spin. The positive spin on this second half.
Well, I mean, Rasta will tell you. I told him too. Rasta, you remember? I told you, man. I told you 4-2, 4-2.
He did.
Come on, man.
He did.
Come on.
I think Bernadette call it 2-4-2?
Why is he saying
Bernie, tell us if he did. I don't know if you're reloading the channel or not, but like I believe there was I think there was someone in the chat that shouted out 4-2.
Yeah, someone definitely went.
Because I had it 4-1. I had 4-1 as being the score, but like there was a point where I thought we were going to get that that clean sheet. Look, let's just keep it 100. I mean, like in that first half, they had 0 shots on target. They had 1 shot, period. In that
Not if you're listening to Gary Neville. If you listen to Gary Neville, he made it sound like they were playing like prime Barcelona.
Like they were in it?
For the first 10 minutes, he was, Tottenham have been brilliant, Tottenham have been this, that. It's like, I don't know what game he was watching. They had a few, they got into the box after a couple of minutes. They had a few breaks for it. Like they got on the ball, but they didn't.
I guess maybe he's just looking at it as the 57% ball possession they had, but I mean, which is unique. I mean, like in that first half, this is at least in the first half, they had 57% ball possession to our 43, obviously, but we had a 2.31 xG to their 0.04 xG. I mean, they had one shot and it wasn't even on target. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, look, yeah, our subs. I know that's what people seem to be saying. The subs weren't very good. The subs weren't great.
Yeah, Honesty's telling me
Yeah.
YouTube is tired of my positivity. YouTube wants me to go full Hulk Hogan with the NWO. I agree. Yeah, Honesty said 4-1 with me. Yeah, I said 4-1 with YouTube. Honesty, I know. I thought we were almost there. We were almost there. I figured we would give one charity goal away. I didn't think we were going to give two. I thought, obviously, when I saw, and this is weird, but when I saw us get scored on by the Pigeon, I was like, okay, it's about to go 4-2. I don't know about you guys in the chat, but for some reason, I was like, it's almost like you almost have to count Sun. Sun is just, he just has a weird connection with getting goals against us lately, you know. So I think it's now 5 straight games he scored a goal on us now. That's a pretty exceptional record, to say the least.
Yeah, well, Son could pretty much claim records like that against a lot of teams in the league at this stage.
Yeah,
it's like he's one of those guys that you say, oh, he has a habit of scoring against us, and I'd say you could sit down in the pub and that, like, fans of every other club can go, oh, I just said this, like, because that guy is just relentless. Like
yeah.
he scored, he's scored, he's outscored. Like, you know, talk about XG and stuff, and sort of that XG is like I heard someone say the other day, oh, his XG is only this. It's only a matter of time before he reverts to that. And it's like, no, that's not how XG works. Look at Son. For the last 6 seasons in the Premier League, he has outperformed his XG by around 8, 7, 8, 9 every season, because that's exactly what XG is. It shows you what an elite footballer does. He outperforms XG, which is what the average player might do. He does it every single year, man. He is absolutely ridiculous, that guy. I said it from day one, he's too old now, but if we'd gotten him around 2017, 2018,
stop. Don't talk. Yeah.
What a player, man. What a player. Perfect club player. Never stopped working.
That would have been, I mean, like, just the mentality, the presence, the professionalism, you know, just
work rate.
The work rate,
Finishing
everything would have just like, would have been just perfect. That would have been just, yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Redford, let us know if we're still freezing, or if anyone else in the chat, let us know. Is it freezing? Is everyone, because some people have had a couple of issues, but mine is fine. So.
Yeah.
Question: Charlton keep going behind Kwanzaa, losing him.
Yeah, I'll bring that up. It says, question: Richarlison kept going back, and this is somewhat to what Rasta Crab was asking too. Richarlison kept going in behind Kwanzaa, and Kwanzaa kept losing him with it. The inexperience from Kwanzaa, is that inexperience from Kwanzaa, or was the plan to play Richarlison offside? I honestly think that it was something of, again, what I spoke of with VVD and his partners. It's a matter of like just being able to hold the line together. You could see, and I don't even know, because I think the second goal was VVD it was either VVD or even, it was either first or second goal. I'd have to double check on that one. But VVD kept him on side, or kept one of the goals on side as well. So it wasn't just Kwanzaa. But I mean, Kwanzaa and VVD also holding that back line. If they're going to try to utilize that offside, if not trap, but at least that offside line, it's a matter of keeping them connected so that they understand, take that step forward, or you're going to have to either just play that player straight up and understand that you're going to have to, like, you know, really mark him, as opposed to relying on that offside. And often with this club, we always, or not always, but more predominantly, rely on the offsides being our fifth defender in essence. Do you want to
Well,
put
yeah.
something?
Also, if you were to look at, obviously, having not seen the last half hour, if you ask me, I would guess that we were trying to play offside because that's what we do. We do try, like as you said there, it's part of how we play. So I'm
Mhm.
assuming we were, but the offside line, the offside trap, the all that stuff, it's part when perfectly executed, fine up against dummy players. But if you're up against an intelligent forward, then
Mhm.
they can do things. Richarlison, as much as we all hate him, he knows what he's doing.
He
So
knows
if
it.
if
Oh
a player
yes,
like him spots a bit of a space, makes a good run, and someone can spot that pass, then that'll break your line, even if it's good line. But of course, how old is Gerald Kwanzaa? Of course, he's going to get done with a bit of inexperience here. But everything about that isn't about. It's like, okay, he got done by something once, right? Now that's happened to him. Now he's learned from it. It's if
right,
you keep getting done with the same things over and over and over again. He's a young player. Things are going to happen to him for the first time, in a sense. And he'll be like, right, okay, I know what happened there. I'm not going to let that happen again because I know I can stop it. I'll see it coming. You know what I mean? The next time I'll see it coming. Whereas, yeah, okay, I know he has that trick. I know he has that
Mhm.
move now. So that's going to come with youth and the inexperience that comes with that. But it's all about, yeah, like like basically you come into work on your first day and you make two mistakes and it's like no, that goes there and that goes over there. Okay, you come in the next day and you make the same two mistakes. It's like no, we told you yesterday. Oh, okay, you come in third day, you still making the same mistakes. People are like, oh, this guy isn't learning. It's just let him make the mistake the first day because it's new. Take it and move with it. But I
Mhm.
think he's the kind of guy that would be really offended by kind of getting caught out by something. He'd be the kind of guy that's not going to happen to me again. I'll see that coming the next time because he probably sees himself as a kind of a clever player, which he is. He's aware of it. Like so, him and yeah,
No, no,
it's all part of the learning curve, isn't it? It's all part of just going through the game.
it is. It is. And I mean, like, look, Stefano says it here. He says team just looked more disjointed when we made our subs. Stefan was rusty, and
It it does sound like that punched really just by reading everyone because, like I said, it really sounds like that really shook everything up in a bad way.
yeah, yeah. I,
The
I,
whole the whole pre,
it
but
was a,
sure, yeah,
it
that's
was a
strange.
case where, like, look, I don't know what Gary Neville saw. If that's, I didn't hear Gary. We didn't have Gary Neville's commentary on my side of the pond, but like but I still thought that despite the fact that we didn't have possession, we had more of the threatening attack, and we had more of the more the momentum on our side. Certainly in that first half. Um, Obviously, the second half was a different story. And I know that some people, like I know, where was it? Redbird says here, for instance, he says there was no point or need to play Stefan. It's not as if he needs to play for match fitness with only 2 games left. He's got preseason to get his fitness back. And I can understand you saying that, Redbird. I just think that when you do look at our lineup, on the bench yesterday, we had Gomez, Bichetic, Gravenberch, Nunez, Dom, obviously Kelleher as the backup keeper. But then we had Kanate,
All right, Bernie.
uh, Bradley, and Jones. Now, I would have been a little bit surprised that we didn't see Jones, to tell you the truth, because like as I'm hoping that he can find favor and also even find his form. But he has looked very, very suspect as the last couple of games that he's participated in. Um, Kanate, I think that it was good to not take Kwanzaa out for Kanate at that moment. I think that you know what, we had enough of a lead that you don't want to like take away from Kwanzaa's confidence too much. You want to actually say, you know what, this is just learn with it, get better, step it up. Understand mistakes can happen. Just move on from it and actually just maybe perform even to a higher level when given the opportunity next. And then
This
with Bradley, yes, that could have been a sub that we used. I mean, we did use all 5 subs. That could have been a sub that we could have used, but I wasn't necessarily looking at saying, oh, we need Bradley to move in for Trent. I want to see Trent get back to that stage where he can perform full 90s on the pitch, and that's something that I think all of us would like to see as well. So with the subs that we did utilize, Gomez, Bajcetic, Gravenberch, Nunez, and Dom, I think it was a natural idea to kind of say, yeah, you expect to see Bajcetic be one if his name's on the out of the list on there, or the 9 on the bench, and obviously Kelleher take that off, but Konate, Bradley, Jones, yeah, I'd rather see Bajcetic play out of those from those 3, in my personal opinion. So I wasn't really like too hard pressed against it. Go ahead, Brian.
I would have said this is the sentimentality thing that was creeping in, because I said it last week. He's leaving. He's going to want to give minutes to some players. And that's what I meant by that. Is there some players that have been around with him that he's going to want to give them minutes just from a sentimental point of view. And I think that's what Bajcetic was, because if you're like, was it Redbird? Sorry, said in a cold hard world, there really is no need to him. Like, all he needs to do is back and be running and be fit and be okay for preseason, because we don't need him for any games. So in a cold hard world, there was really no need to bring him on. You know, it's just get him back, get him fit, and make sure he's fit and healthy for preseason. He can start again. He's been out for basically a year, 7 months, a year of football, season of football. So I think this was definitely Klopp's got a couple of guys that I really want to get him on the pitch for me. You know, and maybe like next game it might be Bradley. Like, that was the thing I thought. I thought Stefan might get 15 minutes in the Wolves game. That's what I would have been thinking.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think this is Klopp kind of. I can only imagine that at 4-0 up, he saw an opportunity, and he thought, you know what, this game is done and dusted. I can bring this boy in. He's on the bench. He's ready to go. But if it had been 1-0 or 2-0, of course, nothing happened. But yeah, I just think that there are a couple of guys on the list that he wants to get on the pitch before he goes. You know, he probably wants to see Thiago again. He probably wants to see Jota again on the pitch.
Yeah, I bet you he would. So, absolutely bet you he would. Especially since we're not playing.
I just think that's all.
We're not in possibly by the result of the next game, we won't be playing for anything other than pride. Yeah,
the context of 4-0.
Why not?
The context of 4-0 shouldn't be ignored. Like, we were 4-0 up at home.
Yes.
So that probably gave him a lot more leeway to bring on a sub a luxury sub, a sentimental sub, whatever you want to call it, but one that he definitely isn't bringing on at 1-0 up away to Villa.
Yeah.
You know, it's he just thinks we're not losing this game. We're at home. It's a lovely day. We're scoring goals. Everyone's having fun. On you go, Stefan. It's been a long road back. And I'm going to see you on the pitch before I go. And maybe not like in the cold hard world of, not necessary. Of course not necessary. But good to see. And again, maybe a bit too early in a game that he probably wouldn't do it again tomorrow. He'd probably give him wait 10 minutes or something, give him the last 10 minutes and leave Endo up. I don't know. But look, I don't think we should ignore that we were 4-0 up at home bit in the sunshine and everyone's having a great time. So they're probably a little bit drunk on it, if you know what I mean. Just
this is
on
funny.
The occasions, I think. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Fald. Like, just one of those things where it's a beautiful day. We're up 4-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Why not? Like, is there going to be someone out there that gets all butthurt because he put Bajcetic in? But I will say this: there's 2 comments that just came up that were very interesting. One was, I'll knock this one out. Hylor says, but we know what level Bajcetic can deliver on, which I think Bajcetic can deliver on a high level too, given the time and training. He has had a bunch of time, a bunch of training. It's not like, it was a roll of the dice for Klopp. He's seen him in training. He knows what he can do. But Arsenal and Declan Rice's level this season is a good example of how important a good number 6 is. Look, I think that you could even go as far as to say, you can say what you want about Declan Rice, but Endo's performances this year have shown the difference about what a good number 6 can do when a good number 6 is in form. We look like a totally different team when we have Endo in the number 6 and he's performing to the levels that we need him to do at that number 6. It makes a big difference.
But it's more Partey at Arsenal. He plays more defensive. It allows Rice to like with us
forward.
Like Endo, it's kind of like they had a similar situation where Partey was out, so Rice was playing deeper. He can't play that role. Don't get me wrong. He is a DM as well, like McAllister was for us because Endo wasn't ready to come into the team yet. And then, but Partey was injured. But when Partey came back into that team, he was able to hold, which is what he's quality at. And Rice actually able to go a bit forward more. And then you saw Odegaard become incredibly explosive towards it. So it was a very similar scenario. As soon as they got their DM back in terms of Partey, and we got our DM, not got him back, but got him up to speed with the tactics and the speed of the league and into kind of integrated. Possibly you saw McAllister's game improve. It's just unfortunate at the same time that we had the kind of Dominic Szoboszlai drop off. But the two things you get to very, very similar scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with this completely. Just having someone there tying it together.
Yeah, I agree with this completely, Hylor. Rodri is immensely important for Man City. And also Bernadette says she agrees with you, Brian, but we've been called out before a few times.
I know, but Barney, even like at 3-0, I'm with you. At 3-0, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back to this to what she had to say, but I'm gonna also bring up Redbird's comment. He says a lot are saying the subs were down to Pep, as if Klopp had nothing to do with the decision. I don't know who is saying that, Redbird. That is just mad.
That's the first time I've heard it, so it can't be that.
Yeah, I can understand. Look, Pep does have some influence, or can make suggestions to Klopp, but it's not like Klopp is just like a passenger on this ride, and he's just like letting Pep make the calls for who gets to play and who doesn't get to play.
Yeah. Sometimes
I don't think we're at that stage of the exit from this club for Klopp just at any means.
No, I think people willfully misunderstand how management and coaching teams work just to make the club sound stupid. Like what Pep Linders, Jurgen Klopp will tell you, he's my assistant. Of course we talk about stuff. Of course we bet. Like if you ever watch that Graham Taylor documentary where they basically have the whole bench mic'd up for the England World Cup. It's the manager and the coach and the assistant coach going
at all times.
All the time. What do you think? What do you think? Will we bring him on? We bring him on. What about him? What about him? They're bouncing ideas off each other. That's completely.
It even goes to the point where, like, I know people are all talking about these. You have these eye test merchants out there, but I mean, it also goes to some of the that's not necessarily analytics, but just the sheer numbers of the game in the sense of saying, oh, well, this player has played this many minutes, or remember that this player it's been recommended that this player only played this certain amount of minutes or something like that, or just this player's levels have dropped, for this reason or for that reason. Like, as in they're crunching numbers, and they're doing like their own set of analytics on the sidelines too, trying to get him the best numbers and the best information as possible, so to help influence his decisions, along with what his gut is telling him. So it's a unique situation. Huh?
Well, it's unique. It's unique in the matter what these people. It's compared to what it was back in the day, but
back in like the 80s, it wasn't like they weren't doing.
But they're all at it. Like,
Yeah.
You've all got your guys. But what I mean is like it's always been people kind of make it sound like oh guess what? Klopp
Mhm.
doesn't do everything himself. Or guess what? Pep Linders influences Klopp's decisions. It's like, yeah,
Like,
Klopp will tell you
there's no
this.
guess. There's no guess in that. We
Yeah,
already knew that.
but
Yeah,
just
exactly. Yeah.
read any of his many interviews where he talks, or read his book, read where he talks
Where
about
he'll
how
say, yeah,
important
he'll say,
his
well,
coaching,
they brought up this, or
his
they brought up, or it was brought to my attention, this, or we knew that. He doesn't say I knew. He's like, we knew this, or we knew that. You know, he's giving proper credit to where credit's due. But what I was going to circle back about, and I'll bring up your statement, Philip, in 1 second. Was that comment about about like the comment about Tyler brought it up earlier, and he said something about if anyone needs to remember or has forgotten possibly, last year's game against Spurs, we were up 3-0, and we were up 3-0 that game, and then they battled back to tie it up with that pigeon goal of 3-3, and to make it 3-3. And then fortunately we had our stone killer in the lurch, being Diego, who just marched down the field and scored the game winner for us. Did I think it was going to be that case? Was in the chat. How about this? I know Brian didn't get the opportunity to watch all of that. So I'll ask in the chat, when Richarlison and Son scored their 2 goals, were you on the edge of your seat thinking, oh, here we go again? Were you thinking that we were about to have a catastrophic, and that would have been a catastrophic collapse there? Did you think that was those settings were more online, or do you think that no, it was done and dusted? But once we have 4-0, we were just in cruise control. We were going to take a couple bumps along the way, but for the most part, you knew our settings were set for a win. I'd love to know if that's the case, because I didn't necessarily think we were in trouble, despite the circumstance. It was just that's the Spurs team. We saw Spurs do the same thing. Wait until the end to show they had some bit of fight against Arsenal, for instance, and still end up losing, still end up coming up short. Because I don't think that Spurs have, unfortunately for them, I don't think that the Spurs have a team that is measured to do what some might have thought was about to happen. Oh, okay, Bernie, you were worried a little bit. Okay, all right, that's interesting. And Philip says yes, he was worried as well. Were you worried, Philip, too? I don't know. When you saw the score, when you saw that they did score, I know you didn't see the game, but when you saw that they had, I'm sure you were getting updates. Were you like, uh-oh, Brian? Or were you more like, nah, we still got this? It's too late for them.
If you're 4-0 up in a game of football, and it's this Liverpool team of the last month, and you ship 2 in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I don't think you've been watching football very long if you didn't think for 5 seconds, oh, hang on a minute, no, not this. If you're watching enough football, we've done it to teams. You're 4-0 up and you think you're home and hose and you're making those substitutions, like I say. Next thing, bang, 4-1. Ah, well, it doesn't. Okay, what, 4-2? Oh, holy hell. And you're looking at your watch. Well, that's plenty of time to score 2 more and ruin our day. Because especially if you start looking all scrabbly at the back and worried and, people losing their heads, you just really need to get. But yeah, if I'd seen that second one going in, I would have, no, come on, guys. Come on. Not now.
Mm-hmm.
I would have definitely. until I imagine it settled down for a couple of minutes after that second goal. Maybe they had another quick attack or something. But yeah, that would just be natural to just go off.
Yeah,
They couldn't. They couldn't. Could they? They're not going to do this.
I agree with Bernie. I wish she says out. She was wishing again. We had signed Son. He had loads of space yesterday. He's so good with like he is very very good with great player, amazing an amazing representation of the character and brilliance that the South Korean players have, and he definitely is a champion for the
Where's
Asian
Hwang Hee-chan?
Asian players that we are fortunate to have in the league for certain.
Where's Hwang? Where is he's South Korean as well, isn't he? The guy at Wolves, Hwang Hee-chan, the striker at Wolves. He's South Korean, isn't he? He's having
Say
a good
one more?
season too. The guy at Wolves, Hwang Hee-chan, he's
Oh
South
yes,
Korean as well,
yes,
isn't
yes. He's Korean as well. Yep.
He's having a good season
I
too.
believe he's I want to say
Quietly in the
I think
lineup.
he's North Korean though. He's but yes. I want to say he's North Korean. But um but still. Yes, yes, yes. So let's see. I'm going to see about that too. Yeah. Um Second half, definitely a difference in second and first half. The second half they had 10 shots, 6 on target. We had 11 shots, 5 on target in the second half. I will agree that they definitely stepped it up when it came to when those subs came on. You saw you certainly saw a dip in the level. I even think that there was like it was we had to take a place where you it took a little while for the subs to kind of mesh in with the rest of the team. I think that the team that we had on there was on such high gear that it made a difference. And I mean, like in the chat again, you can tell me if you thought differently, but I thought that the first team that we had on there was really, really engaged, really lockstep and barrel with each other in that in knowing how to progressively move forward with the ball and the like. When the subs came on, different story. It took a little while for them to kind of get into up to pace. They didn't seem up to pace with the game, with the way that the other team had the first team had already like gotten to. In my opinion, it looked
Can
yeah.
can I just say for a second, or for give me a minute? The only thing I got wrong in my team selection was Harvey Elliott not playing. And I knew that it probably wouldn't be Dom because but then I was kind of thinking, oh, yeah, who here? Like I had Endo and Mac. And I thought of
Mhm.
Elliott. I was like, who knows? Who knows? I didn't put like a huge amount of thought on him at all. And I just picked Dom at the end. So he'd probably just go with that one. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Gravenberch. Never even really thought about Elliott. So
Mhm.
he was the one guy that I didn't pick.
Mhm.
And I'd say he was the one guy that probably had the biggest impact on the game. Because everybody, like, because he did, of course, he crossed my mind. You know,
Mhm.
of course, Harvey can start the game. Never surprised if he does. But he, like, yeah, I didn't really, I just had someone else in, and he comes in, and he's the one guy, like, because everyone is saying it's like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, man of the match, all of this stuff. So
Mhm.
he's one guy who really kind of took the opportunity yesterday. You know, you could see he was enjoying it from the start.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, and it's good because one thing we always said about Elliot is good off the bench, not always amazing when he starts. And so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was really, really good from not minute one, but from yeah, as soon as we started taking a grip of it, he was really involved. So it was like it's nice to see when a guy who isn't like we say, he isn't like he's not someone everyone's oh Elliot starts. He's someone like, oh yeah, you can play him, but to have a guy like that that's just kind of in our middle ranks just come in and have a game like that. that's what you want to see from those young kids coming out and have that kind of statement game. And from what I've been reading about him afterwards, that was his best game. That's what I've heard a lot of people say, best game for Liverpool.
Yeah. I did see this, by the way.
Yeah. But what do you think, just quickly? What would you say that was his best game for Liverpool, or were you like surprised at how good he was, or
his
have you seen
is
him play
possibly
better?
one of his best games as a starter for Liverpool, dealing with Elliott, you mean? Yes, I would say best.
Yeah, what I was just saying there. Yeah, like I'm saying, like I didn't see it. What like a lot. I'm hearing a lot of
Right,
people say 9 out of 10 man of the match. Maybe not everyone. I'm not saying everyone's saying the best game for Liverpool,
right.
but everyone's kind of saying 9 out of 10 out of 10. And yeah, as a game, yeah, obviously he's had an impact off the bench. But say just as considering that he started
I think that
and he put in that
I
shift.
think that what we've been lacking somewhat has been the intensity that the work rate style intensity that he brings, and I think that you combine it with Anfield, you combine it with you combine it with the sheer fact that we needed this win to kind of lift our spirits in anything, and if there's anyone that's going to go out there and just take directions from what Klopp says and make it the most, it was him. I don't know if it was even more so the sheer
Because he's
coincidence.
had great games before. I mean, this
Yes,
is what I'm saying.
yes.
Though. He's had great games. Like I'm saying, the kid is actually here 4 years. So is it recency bias that people are saying that?
Mhm.
Because he has been excellent before. I think people forget how long this kid has actually been on the books here.
Mhm. I was gonna say it with him though. I thought that it was just maybe a coincidence that a lot of the pieces that were coming out before this game, and even somewhat even after now, but before the game, were Harvey making his heart felt acknowledgement of how much Jurgen Klopp has certainly helped him and helped develop his game and the like, and how much he owes to Jurgen.
I
And
think he'll be one of the guys that hits the hardest. I definitely put, if we were doing a tier list of people who will miss Klopp the most, he's right up there for me. Because yeah,
absolutely,
as you say,
because he's one
he
of the
brought him
players
in
that
as a kid.
Jurgen has wholeheartedly gotten behind and supported. And what I mean by that is,
But
like,
as
there was when before the injury, especially, Elliott was getting a lot of playing time. And I'm talking about in front of players that you normally sometimes thought would be getting real quality minutes. He was eating into some of those quality minutes from some of those players on our team. And even when he did get the injury and he came back, he was still, you could see Jurgen trying his best to try to get him involved and get him more acclimated to the team. So it was very interesting.
But it
Um,
also, if you think about the age, if you meet somebody as iconic and influential and like at the age of 16 as Jurgen Klopp,
mm,
that's when he when he was 16, 17, Klopp. Like you meet him when you're 24, 25. Okay, he's big impact on you. But imagine meeting him as a 16, 17-year-old. He becomes basically your biggest figure in sport. I think, yeah, he'll definitely be missing him up there. But what was the other one before that? What
so
was that?
what I was also going to bring up here before, because we're going to get into these ratings in about like 2 minutes here. I wanted to deal with this right here where I don't want to deal with two questions actually. I'm going to bring up this one first. Um, did you see Nunez has removed all posts and photos of LFC off his Instagram, but he's left Benfica on? Um, I think, and this is going to sound whatever
Sure.
way you want to take it, I guess. But let's just be honest. Like, as in, our fan base at times can be very, very reckless with some of their takes and some of their criticisms. Like, as in, it's not even to the point where sometimes it's not criticism. I know I can be pushed back against when I'm oh, I'm too positive, I'm too this, I'm too that, but more so like I don't mind criticism. If you want to have debates or have discussions, let's have them. But there's parts and points of the fan base, and especially rivals / trolls / even neutral somewhat out there that take it way, way, way too far and way too far when it goes to abuse. And I think that, and I get Stefano's comments is saying, he says Darwin deleting his social media at least is poor. You choose to be a footballer in the social media area. You scored 1 goal in 13. Do your job, and you won't get the hate. And LFC pay you a handsome wage. And I can understand the whole like shut up, play football type concept, but these people are human beings. Let's not get it twisted. Like as in, there's parts and points. There's parts and points to the reasoning why he is getting a. They're talking about bringing a psychologist in to help, sports psychologist to help him with the maintaining of his mental health, and also, it's the fact that there are some fans out there that take it way, way too far, way too far. And if you don't think that these people have kids or family members or friends or even themselves that see these posts, you're kidding yourselves. They're a part of this world just like every last one of us, and people will be like, oh, well, just turn off the social media, which he has done somewhat, like just turn it off, turn it off.
The clarification. Can I get a clarification on it? Because from what I see, he's just deleted all the Liverpool pictures from his Instagram. He hasn't he hasn't deleted his Instagram.
He hasn't deleted his Instagram, correct?
And
what she was saying is correct. Pictures. He's kept on photos of, for instance, of his former club before. So he has
Benfica and imagine Uruguay pictures.
Right, and Uruguay is still on there. But again, there's reasons for that.
I know.
Because like I'm trying to get across. Let me land this part support, and I'll let you have your say too. Why I say and am saying what I'm saying is that there are reasons why players do want to go to these teams. I get it. You might say, "Oh, well, you're getting paid well. Suck it up." That's part of it all. Or like let's not get it twisted. Everyone loves to have praise put upon them. And no matter how humble you want to be or not, you still do enjoy the praise, or it still is uplifting to have the praise. Our fan base, at least initially when I started following this club, our fan base was a fan base I found unique in that we often were we would give praise and we would often uplift our players, quite often more so than not. And it was something that I really, really enjoyed being a part of. Maybe that's partially why I have like gotten into a little bit more of the positive concept when it comes to a lot of our players and the like, because I didn't have that concept of always like trying to chop down our players, and bring them down to a level they already know that they're doing bad or poor possibly. They don't necessarily need even more so to hear it from the confines of people that they would expect or appreciate to hear at least some positive words of reinforcement or encouragement from. So when it comes to these players, sometimes in this fan base, I tend to see us going with the wave that is sometimes started by rivals and the like. And at times it started from within our own house. And that's something that I like. I've always tried to be that guy to push against that wave, in that like these people do read your posts sometimes. These people see the memes and the comments that are made, and unfortunately, like in an era like, you might be like, oh, well, just push it off, or you'll bring up of certain players, you'll say, oh, well, Barnes didn't do this, or I don't know, or Kenny never did that. they grew up, but they played in different eras where these social media concepts had different impact. If not, even if they didn't have, some of them didn't even have social media concepts, to have as another layer. It's now this like third wall that used to exist is no longer there any longer. And I'm speaking on a forum right now, in a place in a forum where, hey, some of these players are going to possibly see this. Maybe some of these guys will check out an episode here or there. I'm sure like some of the people that I'm connected to or whatever will look at a post here or there that I do in their very busy schedules. And I mean, like, yeah, it does affect you. It will affect you one way or another. So like, you can have criticism, you can have constructive criticism, but sometimes I believe we take that, we get a little bit too comfortable with our assessments, and we go way far. That's just my personal opinion. Go ahead, Brian. You wanted to chime in on this too? Oh,
Yeah, oh,
maybe.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, I just sit, I can see you're in preach mode tonight, so I'm just gonna sit back. You've got, and I mean that in a good way, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see it from all sides, like, the nasty and the vile stuff and all of that. I mean, I don't, why do we have, like, I feel like I'm wasting for having even come out and say that this stuff is, like, I don't, the idea that you could go online and send abuse to someone you've never met because they play football, that just doesn't work in my brain. So
Mm-hmm.
I know people do it, you know, the 12-year-olds, the 11-year-olds, whatever, yeah, it's just a horrible truth of the world that we live in. It's never on. Like the whole point that you're making really is probably not even these guys so much because everyone takes it differently, but it's more like the people around them having to read the stuff. And I think when you go to the ground, all you hear is people singing his name. You don't hear people booing him. You don't hear people giving him abuse. And that's the real kind of measure I take because
Mm-hmm.
Dustin says there, don't say stuff you don't say to people's face.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. And the people in the ground are the people who will say it to your face. And the people
Yeah.
in the ground are still supporting it. So it's this weird online, like if they weren't saying it to him, they'd be saying it to someone else. And again, like I could make my profile picture Marcus Rashford and call myself Brian MUFC and go and
Mm-hmm.
slag off, Bruno Fernandez. So you've just got a whole load of trolls out there. And it's a horrible, disgusting world, and I wish it didn't exist. But we also have to take it on board that it allows us to go on YouTube and allows us to do things you can't take away the good or the bad, and it's always going to be out there. It's sad, really, is all I can say about it. It's really, really sad. And
Right.
yeah, again,
Right.
like these people, yeah, they know, they hope, like you're saying, these guys, they read this stuff. These people fucking, they really hope these guys read it.
Oh, I know they
They want
definitely
them
do.
to,
They
yeah, they want them to read it.
definitely do. They want them
Yeah,
to. They
yeah.
almost like.
So,
I think at times. I think they
but can I
they they
just
expect
one
them to.
quick thing?
Hmm.
Just one quick thing is this basically has made the life very difficult for people like me who have been critical of footballers from the start purely from a footballing point of view. Who have always had the opinion that this player isn't really that good or isn't good enough for us or might not be that good in the future. I can't really have that opinion because I'm thrown in with those people.
Mm.
It's made it's made talking about stuff like that really difficult from a normal person's point of view because of all of this insanity that goes on around it. Because you feel like I
Mm.
can't even criticize this guy from a purely football. Like it doesn't matter to me if the name on his back was Johnson and it was number 18. The guy Johnson at 18 at the weekend was absolutely horrific. I can't say that because I'm thrown in with the hate mob that want to, yeah, ring him up and tell people where he lives and throw eggs at his house.
Right.
That's made
Right.
it's made normal discourse very difficult because
I
it's
agree with
as soon
that.
as
I'll
you
agree with
say
that.
that
Yes.
name, as
Right.
soon as you mention that name, boom,
Right.
it all goes off.
It
So
goes.
it's just it
Yeah.
goes off. It's a
It
hand
goes
grenade in
off.
the room.
Yeah. It goes to
It's
the
a
point
hand
where like
grenade in the room.
if you say
But
anything
dude, how
negative,
long have I
yeah,
been?
you are
But
trying to
dude,
get
how long
positive.
have I been saying this? How
Yeah.
long have I been saying? How
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
have you known me? How long have
Mhm.
I been saying that guy's name in a conversation is just a hand grenade? I've been saying it
Yeah.
for a year and a half. It
Yeah.
just always has been. And you always used to laugh at me. No, I genuinely have never seen a player create this kind of immediate split and reaction in the Liverpool fan base.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it in
No,
terms
you're
of
right.
just a
No, you're right.
boom.
I mean, like, you got to recognize, like, these people, like, you can say what you want, but I mean, like, you got to recognize these people have children. They have, like, these kids, their kids go to school where they know who their parents are, they know who their dad is, like, and at the same time, you'll have these forums where it's so visceral at times where it's just it can get really ugly really quickly. But I'm gonna bring JK in as well. JK, how are you doing, brother? Hopefully he can hear me. I know he's on mute at the moment, um
Hey,
yeah,
bro.
Probably
yeah,
given out to somebody in German.
yeah.
Everything cool, yeah, guys?
Mhm. Yeah. We're just dealing with like,
I take it.
just I just
Live hand grenades, just live
yeah,
hand
we're dealing with
grenades
some
being
live
Yeah.
tossed
hand
around
grenades,
the
to say the
chat.
least.
Uh-huh.
It's-
And if anything, you know what, like I know I think that my positioning is a unique position nowadays when I get onto a lot of these platforms, primarily because like there is a lot of a lot of sometimes negative, just like you said, Brian, about like how there are those that are really really ugly with the comments, really really distasteful comments, or have like really negative things to bring to the discourse, and yet like you might be saying something constructive, you might be trying to at least look at it from a analytical style approach or something along those lines, and yet simply by saying what you're saying, you're getting lumped in with those negative Nancy's, and it's
Mhm.
unfortunate that that's the case. And then even from
It
someone like
shuts you down.
myself, as soon as I say anything positive about a player, I'm getting lumped in as like, oh, the extreme, the polar opposite, and
Mhm.
Oh,
oh,
the Ballon d'Or guys. The guys that told me last season he was going to score 35 goals this season, 25 to 35 this season, and
mhm,
he'd be a Ballon d'Or winner. Because there's those crazies. Because whenever there's an
right.
argument, there's always crazies on two different sides.
I didn't.
So
Yeah,
you've
I
got
I
the
will openly admit that I was not someone that I wasn't that, even I wasn't that crazy with my
yeah.
not analysis, but my predictions of what
Well,
the
hey,
new year
it
would
is.
bring Nunez. I will admit though that I did say he would have 30 plus GA. I did say that preseason, so that is something that you'll find a clip of me saying, is that I did
Oh
say he
no,
would have.
I'm talking about the 35 league goals, people.
Yeah, I
Over
never
there.
said 35 league goals.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
yeah,
no, not you.
yeah,
They know
yeah,
there.
not even
They
close.
know there.
I honestly did think that he would get closer to 20, if not like 15 to 20 goals this year. I thought he would be in that range, especially if he was going to get the opportunities that he was going to get. And he had plenty of opportunities to prove me right on that. Unfortunately, he did not, or has not, at least to this point, gotten there. But he still got 2 games to do. Who knows? Let's just get into these
Well,
ratings, guys. Let's move on
yeah.
to something positive. To speak of something positive, let's move on to these ratings, because we're an hour into the show, and I know that there's some that might be watching the game in the background, or and I know that I've seen some of the numbers. Some people kind of dip off to probably watch the game, watch United. I don't know why you guys are dipping to watch United or Crystal Palace, but it's all good. Some of us just, I guess, some of us just love football.
To see them lose.
Yeah, possibly.
That's the main thing. That's
Yeah.
why most of the Man United fans watch our games. To see us try
Yeah.
to
Oh,
lose,
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think they were. I think they were 1-0 down anyway.
Yeah.
They definitely were 1-0 down.
They were 1-0
someone-
down.
Yeah,
I
someone
don't-
already in the chat,
yeah,
that was
I'd have
last
to-
night, I said.
I'll have to look. Let me see if I can pull up a quick stat or a quick score.
Yeah, Bernie's saying, yeah, they're losing. They're losing. That's why everyone's watching.
Yeah.
They're losing. Yeah.
They're losing. It's at the 40th minute. It's cool because like I'm sure we're gonna probably like uptick in people joining us because halftime is almost upon us in that game. Yes, Stefano.
Exactly.
There's nothing
Everyone
wrong
should
with
have a
having more than 2 screens, brother. There's nothing wrong. Stefano says that he has United and our channel on as well. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. I do the same, man. I do the same.
United on mute. Put
I
put United on mute. That's what you have
Yeah,
to
exactly.
get
You don't want to
that
hear.
right.
You don't want to hear that stuff anyway. Put it on mute. You know, at least get the commentary. Get the. This is the forum. This is the place where you can be joined by Reds that are going to like. You know, you might not have the same opinions, but we're still going to be open enough. We're open enough family to actually, you know, have discussions and be able to still say pass the bread or pass the turkey or whatever we're you know got at the dinner table here. So
Who
let's
scored
get into
them, by the way? Quickly, just who scored? Because I have interest in this game.
Elise. Actually, you know what? Ensman scored. Actually, Ensman scored. Ensman scored.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I
talking about, right?
I no comment.
I think he looks like it. I think they're like topping. What do they call it?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty
Doppelganger.
sure I can't say anything like that.
Yeah,
Doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers. Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
doppelganger of each other.
Yeah, I was hoping to say, fancy week, so.
No, you're good. You're all good.
Okay.
Let's get into these ratings, people. This is what we all like to do. So you know how it goes. Your voice is definitely a part of this. So be sure to just give what your rating is, 1 to 100. Obviously, that lets you get those 6.2s or 7.3s that you just unfortunately saw my rating for Ali. But yeah, you can rate it however you like. We're smart enough here to figure it all out. So let's begin with Ali. AB1. What do you guys have? What was your scores for AB? What were your scores for AB? And we're just going to keep it to scores. We're going to try to get through a lot of these quickly. So
tell me, because it was 3-0 when I left. So
right.
I don't know.
You know what? He could have made the save on. He could have made a save on at least one of the two. To be honest with you. Possibly, I think it was the Sun goal. I want to say he possibly could have actually saved, but the Richarlison goal was a tough one. That was just, I mean, Richarlison was all alone, and it was just a matter of like, you know, pick your corner. In essence, with that goal, I wouldn't have like really blamed Ali for that one, but I think he possibly could have saved it. As for Ali, he had let me see. I'll bring up some. If you need some of the stats, I'll bring up some of the stats in a second. Give me 1 second.
I'll just go whatever you guys think, because I was well to, but like I said, I only saw the first hour, so.
Yeah, Bonkers had Ali at a 6. Bernadette had him at a 9. Okay, that's high praise. That's very high praise. I wouldn't have gone as
65 then. By that sounds about what people are saying. 65. Then I'll add that in.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone. I certainly wouldn't have gone 90. He said. Bernadette says he was left exposed for the first goal. Our defense was awful. Was AWOL, excuse me, on that one. It was. It was. That was poor. It was poor holding the line. It was poor to let Richarlison, especially Richarlison. But he was like, he had plenty of space. He had distanced himself from Kwanzaa, and he was like lurking, looking for the opportunity to kind of move into space. And once he did, it was an easy goal for him. I thought personally, I would have gone with more on the lines of, so we got a 90, got a 60 from Bonkers. Stefano gave him a 70. JK, you want to give a rating for Ali real quick?
Yeah, let 2 goals in, so 55.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wouldn't have gone that low. But 60,
Did you-
60, 55, okay.
Did you say
We'll allow
55
Murray's.
or 65?
No, I would have
55.
gone more like a
You said
70.
60. No, I was
Yeah.
JK. Did JK say 55 or 60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you've got the
You
clean
said-
sheet, then 100%.
He did make some good saves.
Yep.
Because it could have been worse. Because that second half, they had a lot more shots. The first half, they only had 1 shot, and that 1 shot wasn't even on target. But the second half, they had 10 shots, and 6 of them were on target. Obviously, 2 of them scored, but he did have to make some saves. So, and they had like a 1.24 xG. So, you know what? And I'll tell you also what he had for his expected, because there's an actual. Go ahead.
Just while you're looking that up quickly. No, you didn't hear. JK, did you say 55 or 65?
He said
55.
55.
55. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because I think you're gonna. Yeah, you went way low. Okay.
You
That's what I
went
was thinking. Yeah.
yeah.
Mateta, nice one, Stefano. Mateta. That's all I wanted to hear. Mateta goal and sorted now.
Yeah.
Mateta.
Interesting to see. Like, he had 1 from 1 for aerial duels. He came out for a good cross on one of them. And also, he had obviously the 1 punch. That's the 1 cross I just spoke of. He had 2 saves from inside the box, and he had 4 saves altogether.
We got Pops.
Big up, Pops. I'm gonna go with what I had originally. I'm gonna stick with a 73 for him. I thought it was more in the 70 range. I wouldn't have gone great, but he has some really good saves. He did have some good saves. Let's go with Robbo next. I thought Robbo had a good game, so I'd love to hear what you guys thought. What was your rating for Robbo, JK?
For me, first half, probably our best player. Going into the second half as well. So I'm going to give him 85.
Okay.
He had a top game. He shouldn't be. I think we sort of fell apart when he came off.
Yeah.
For me, he should have stayed on the pitch with Virgil till the end,
Yeah.
But he played well.
Pops gave him a 78 on his score. Okay. I like it because it's kind of like we're all professors in our own way, all like a little bit of like a professorship. So we're all giving what was his paper? What's the score on Robbo's paper? Basically, Bonkers gave him a 73. Do you want to give a rating for him, Irishman?
Yeah, Pops is an actual professor. So
There you go.
That's all
There you go.
Yeah, an actual professor. Professor Pops, come on. Look, that right footed finish. Risa could never have done that. That's I'm only messing. No, the Risa thing. He was brilliant, yeah. He was having a great time. They were all having fun, you see. You could tell someone were having fun. When they enjoy the game, when they're enjoying playing.
Yeah.
Robbo was loving it. That was great. Finish. Like we were joking about earlier on, like to maybe try it more with your right foot, because that was just a lovely little finish. Lovely little finish. He didn't panic.
Right.
And it was nice for him to get in there. He had his typical swing out with his left boot, which nothing happened.
Right.
But yeah, no, that was old school Andy Robertson, really wasn't. So look, he got a goal. I'm not. Someone's got with these. Quit with these 76s. Come on.
I know that. I thought that
he
people would give him a
scored.
little
There's a
bit more
big
love.
bump. Yeah, he's getting a big bump for a goal in the sunshine. Come on. And it broke
Yeah,
the game as well. It didn't,
it
you know,
did.
it played them.
It did break open the game.
Yeah,
Certainly,
it did
it did.
right at the right time. So I'm going to give him a 90. I'm giving him a
Wow.
90. Yeah,
All
yeah, I'm
right.
giving him a 90. No, I thought he
All
was
right.
brilliant. I absolutely brilliant.
All right. I'll read out these ratings from the chat. So I said 78 from Pops, 73 from Bonkers. Bernadette said Robbo had a good game, agrees with JK, gave him an 85. Stefano gave him a 76. Realism Jared said gives him an 80. Says it was Robbo's best game for a long time, to be honest. That's his
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that it was. You saw he was playing with like not only confidence, he's playing with that kind of like he had the right set of energy amongst them, you know, like as it just there's something different about like the way he was like there's his presence on the pitch for some reason. And Daryl gave Robbo a 75.
Can I just interject? Playing against Tottenham will do that to a player. I can imagine they are a pretty fun team to get to play against. They give you lots of room.
Ange is at least an Ange version of Tottenham, certainly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like Mourinho and Conte's version of Spurs, that's a little bit more, you know, defensive and minded, such.
Oh, that was a 1-0. That was a 1-0 yesterday with Mourinho.
I'm going to. I said 81 since the 90s and all the 90s. There's so many 70s that kind of pulled him down, but I'm going to make sure he stays in that 80. And it got to be a little bit tick over. I mean, the celebration alone, you got to give him a little bit, an extra point or two. I mean, the Robbo celebration was a pretty cool celebration, to be honest with you. How about for VVD, our captain, our much, you know, our as of late maligned captain. He is still our captain, all the same, and someone that I'm very proud of. What would you have rated VVD? I see Daryl's giving him a 65. Okay. What would you have rated VVD, Irishman? And then we'll go to JK.
Well, great for the error that I said. Well, that was great, but you know, just
right.
You know,
yeah, you got to see the clean sheet version of the VVD. Yeah. So
can't really. I know. I went all in on Robbo there, but I don't know. You tell me. I don't. Was it a good?
Okay.
Was it an okay Virgil game?
I'll let JK. How about I'll give JK the stage then. What would you have said for VVD, JK?
What it is, I think as soon as they let 2 goals in, the defense and the goalies, all their points go down.
Yeah.
So for me, maybe a 65 as well. About 65.
Okay.
Because they were great until when we got it to 4-0. I think the defense and the goalkeeper, we all looked solid. I think as soon as the Robertson change came, it sort of upset the rhythm at the back. But I think if we kept a clean sheet, I think they will all go 90, you know, for everyone, because we ain't had a clean sheet in a long time.
Yeah. I'm more.
Do you think, JK, that we lose that clean sheet if we don't make those midfield changes? Because that's what I can see. This is what's adding up to me, is where it's all started. Is that we make a big raft of changes, and then all of a sudden the defense has a new left back and new players in front of them, and then Tottenham take advantage of it for 5 minutes, score a couple of goals, and then by the time we've got our heads together with who's on the pitch, we lock it up again. Or did they run out of time to get more goals? I don't know. But when you change a whole midfield, which it sounds like we basically did, then maybe it takes us a few minutes to figure out who should be where. And in those few minutes, you got to go from Richie.
That's a solid statement. That's a solid statement. Yeah, that's a solid statement. That is because it wasn't necessarily that the back line looked like disorganized or the back line was hurting. It more so looked like the midfield needed to find its rhythm and organization more so than and because as a result of the midfield having to go and find that rhythm, because let's be honest, it was a night and day difference once Endo stepped off the pitch. And Endo wasn't, we're going to get to Endo. I mean, Endo wasn't brilliant beyond measure, but there was just a difference in the organization, the tactical fouls, all the different things that you would assess with what we were seeing from the midfield in the first half once he was subbed off, once they were subbed off, it made a difference. It made a considerable difference. And even Robbo, once you know, now all of a sudden you had Gomez trying to figure out how to get in line with the back line, but also, you know, Pachetic having to fill in for Endo. Endo's role was noticeable, to say the least. But let me give you some statistics on VVD. And again, this is what, like, you know, the goals taken off. I can understand those points. He had 6 clearances. He had 1 block shot. He had 1 tackle, but 59 touches. Was 93% accurate with his passing. So he's 42 out of 45 with his passing. 6 for 6 for the long balls. 1 for 1 for ground duels. 2 for 2 for aerial duels. So it wasn't like they were pinpointing Virgil for the attack. It wasn't like, the reason, you know, get what I'm trying to get at, Brian? Like, it wasn't like they were saying, let's utilize Virgil's off his game. We can let's utilize that as being the entry into to get past that back line. So like that wasn't the case, but it is his role to be the organizer of the back line. And when goals happen, it's on being the captain, it's on his back as to him keeping the ship together. But
yeah, I can't imagine there's a team in European football that's targeted Van Dijk for the last 6-7 years. Even when he was at like teams like Southampton, they say, yeah, target the other guy. At Celtic, he was one of the best in the league. Like that guy isn't. Yeah, he hasn't been targeted in his entire life, I'd say. It's just
right.
Yeah, you see him walking down the street with someone else, you go for the other guy. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. He's just got that aura about him. Just go mess.
Yeah,
with
let's just go go left rather than go right into it. Yeah. Stefano, I said, gave him a 67. Darryl gave him a 65. Burnett gave him something more in the lines of what I was thinking, which was a 70. Bonkers gave him a 66. Pops gave him a 70. I know JK gave him a 65. I'm going to have him get slated at that 70 mark. And it might seem interesting to how people rate Kwanzaa's performance. It's also very interesting that Kwanzaa's becoming more of the selection since Konate's somewhat dropped in form slightly. Very interesting. I don't know if he's our bona fide number 2 as opposed to our number 3. Go ahead.
Sorry, JK and 12 on you, because you remember when we were doing our team predictions, we were saying that we both had Kwanzaa and we all had Kwanzaa and Konate were starting, but we all said that was fully dependent on the assumption that VVD was out.
Yes.
But we both said, and I think you said as well, and me and JK definitely said that if VVD was fit, it was Konate that we were dropping. It wasn't Kwanzaa that we were dropping.
Absolutely.
So we're at that stage as well where it's actually, I think I prefer VVD and Kwanzaa to VVD and Konate at the moment.
Yep. And it's going to be a conversation. That's going to be a real conversation come summertime as to, you know, the progression of Kwanzaa. You know, obviously, I think it is more likely than not that we are going to allow for Matip to, leave the team. But all the same, you know, Kwanzaa and Konate are really going to have a viable fight for that second center back role.
It's a real good battle. I like that kind of quality going. Like that should be the best out of Konate. Hopefully, like I like that as a DVD, and then them two going up against it. I like that.
No, you're smart. No, and also, you know what I liked about Kwanzaa, despite there was some in the game, there was some mental, you know, like he did mess up in the sense of not having the right spacing or not properly marking the player type concept that I spoke of earlier in the show. But there was this that I was, and I'm on the same page as Stefano. Kwanzaa did some Matip style runs. That is something that we are very, very much lacking or needing, or have been needing in this with this team. And
Well, Matip's runs are legendary.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I used to
going on
point that
amazing.
out, and I used to get called like silly for even saying, "Oh, you know, Matchup with his runs, that doesn't mean anything. Matchup doesn't do." I'm just like, you guys are watching a different. Some of you guys are watching a different game, apparently. I'm like, Matchup's runs, the gazelle style stride runs that he takes, they're very much necessary. Yeah,
it's about breaking a line. It's
Yeah.
just about breaking a line, really. It's not. Yeah, it's not just. Yeah, it's just a guy that can do that. If you can get if you got a guy in your team that can look, take the ball out of the fence, then take a look up and see everyone's marked, and everyone's going to stand off and go, "Oh, what you going to do? So what you going to do?" And he goes, "Right, boom," goes past a couple of them, and he goes, "Right, what are you going to do?" Now he's pulled everything apart, and all he has to do is just lay a ball off. It's just, that ability to have the confidence to just step forward with the ball, beat one man, and break a line. Then they think they're set. Now they're not.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
That is priceless.
And on top of that, when you have a player too that has, this big menacing player that's able to press forward, you're not going to be able to bully him off the ball. You're just not, and if they've got some type of dribbling technique, it can be a very, very important aspect of the game for us. It could be a great asset for us in being able to press and push and take other players out of the game, in the sense of by having them to have to focus in on this, center back pushing towards that final third. It makes a difference.
Just quickly on it, I've tried to find it on YouTube and I can't, but I saw it on they used to show the Bundesliga highlights on ITV every Sunday night or Monday night, and it was the last weekend of the season, and we knew at that stage he was joining us, and I put it on, and there was highlights from a Schalke game, and it was his last game, and he did that. Now I know, look, his last game of the season, and there was a few lads pushed up. Okay, he didn't have the whole team to beat or anything, but he did one of those things where he went on one of his Macy dribbles, and he kept going, and he ended up going around the goalkeeper and just put it in the bottom corner. And I wasn't sure at the time who it was, and I was like, I really hope that's that Matip guy, but it won't be, because we all, and then it comes up on the screen, goal Matip. I was like, this guy's ridiculous. Like, yeah, he just did that. It was like, because I've seen him do it and actually keep going and score. So every time I see him go on one of his dribbles, I like that. It brings that to mind, because I know how good he is. You don't need him to do the scoring bit. All you need him to do is to break the press and break their man marking or whatever.
Break that line. Make
and
them
then
have to
lay it off.
Make them have to lose their shape. Make them have to commit and move around.
Their striker ain't going to follow you.
Right.
Their striker is the one that should be marking you, but he ain't going to follow you.
He's gonna.
So you've gone into the midfield zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to have to lay
goes
off.
into the midfield zone.
Someone's going to have to come over, leave their man that they're possibly marking to now try to mark and move this guy. And if it's a midfielder, chances are he can still be able to, fend off a midfielder. And then if he does get to that back line, now you're taking away a backline defender from one of our forwards, one of our strikers, or one of our, so that's necessary.
That's exactly
very
it.
certain.
That's
necessary.
exactly it. Yep.
So
that's how. That's what you want.
I'm definitely gonna have to. I have a little bit. I see the scores coming in for Kwanzaa. I have VDQ as Pops calls them. I got a 75. I saw a 60. Kwanzaa got a 69 from Paul's. From Bonkers. Yeah, I made sure I said Paul's. And Stefano had him at a 75 as well. I had him personally. I had Kwanzaa to 68. I have this at the same logic that JK, for instance, put towards VVD. I'm about to call him VVQ. VVD. getting demoted in his score ranking because of the goals being scored on, and I still have to hold Kwanzaa accountable for that as well. And especially since it was his side of the pitch that it occurred on, and it was his responsibility more so than VVD's.
Mhm.
So I had him at a 68. But what would you have given him, KK? And then what would you have given him, Irishman?
Yeah. For me, he was playing excellent until he let Richarlison go on his own walkabouts, and he ended up scoring. I think until then, him and Robertson were probably men of the match. I think Kwanzaa was playing real good, and I was happy that he was partnering Van Dijk. But letting them 2 goals go takes the score to the same as Virgil, 65.
Yeah, okay, 65. Okay. Yeah, Burnett has him at a 75. Okay. Irishman, do you have a rating that you want to give? Oh, I think he's working out something with his microphone, possibly. I see you're not muted, but yeah. All right, I'll tally up the scores. If the Irishman gets back, we'll try to accommodate accordingly to what his score was going to be. But let's see, 75, 69, 75. You gave him a 65. I think I'm gonna settle. I'll settle him with the score I had originally for him. I'm going to go with a 68. That's right around the median of what the chat and you and I gave him. Let's go to Trent. Let's go to TAA. Oh man! First off, let me say this: if Trent had scored that goal that he almost did from our half, Trent's score would be next level. Okay, let me just say it right now. The sheer confidence that this young man had to even take that shot, that was kudos to him, to say the least. I don't know. Did anyone in the chat think that he was going to score that, by the way? Did anyone think he was going to score that? Yeah. Bernadette just said that if he had gotten that, he would have got a 100 for the goal alone. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Bernie. And Stefano says Trent wasn't inverting as much as we were, better for it. And so he gives him a 70. Bonkers gave him a 70 as well. JK, do you have a score for Trent?
I think for him also 65, but he shows signs of just this class, you know.
Okay.
And it was good to see him. This is what I mean. I think letting them 2 goals in sort of upset the day. I think until that point, our defense was looking sort of solid. Yeah. And everyone playing well. Trent was actually playing well. And what I liked about Trent yesterday was he kept to the right side. He didn't drift into the middle as much.
Yeah, that's what
and he looks more dangerous on the right.
Yeah. Yeah. Burnett has him at a 70. Irishman, when your microphone is good, just chime in and we'll tell you when your microphone's working, by the way. Burnett gave him a 70. Pops gave him a 70. Okay. A lot of 70s. I think I hear it. Think you're getting back in there. I had him at a 74. I will go with, but I still go with I'll go with the chat on this one, and give him a 70. I'll give him a 70. So, yeah, but if he'd gotten that goal, that would have been a different story. If he'd gotten the goal, that would have been a much different story. I mean, like Trent again, 6 tackles for Trent. Something you don't hear too often, but he was engaged. 3 interceptions, 6 tackles, 1 clearance.
One shot from the halfway line.
And he was and he had one last man on the line to make the tackles as well. I mean, he was engaged, people, defensively. He was definitely engaged. But 70's a good score. 70's a good score and a fair score for it in the end. Let's go on to Endo. And do a quick mic check for you, Brian. You there?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, someone rang me and I couldn't.
No worries.
See you, so.
For Endo, what are you guys doing for our gum shield? I see what Pops is saying.
What
He's
did I
like,
miss?
Pops is
What did I
like, don't
miss?
big him up for doing his job. Yeah,
Who?
but I mean, like, I get you.
Who?
I more so say that, like, I'm
What did I
bigging him
miss?
up for doing his job because there's so many people that will knock him down for when he doesn't do the levels that they have expectations for the right back to do. That's what I'm saying. He's doing his job for sure. Gum Shield Warrior, the Gum Shield Gorgon, right? Is that how you say it? Pops gave him a 76. 75 Endo, key component, but nothing flashy. Agree with that. I can give you some stats too on him. 51 touches, 91% passing. He had one key pass. He was 3 out of 4, for long balls. Something you don't really see too often from Endo. A lot of his passes are more, direct and concise with the midfielders. But he was 1 for 1 for his dribble attempts, 2 out of 7 for ground duels, and had 3 fouls that he committed. What was your rating for Endo? Certainly a difference when he stepped out. Bonkers gave him a 71 and a 77 from Phillip. What about you, JK? What were you going to give Endo?
I think when him and Robertson sort of came off, we sort of lost concentration, So until that point, he was sort of playing well, Endo. Kept the defense out of trouble and stuff, just sitting in front of them. So yeah, just for me, that substitutions of him and Robertson. So I'll give him 70, Endo.
Okay. Bernie says Endo gives everything, but it's burning himself out in the second half. But his effort was a 70 in her opinion. Okay, I can see I can see that.
Yeah.
Endo was all over the field, all over the pitch. I mean, like, he was all over the pitch, and if anything, Endo was primarily left on the left side of the pitch was primarily where you got to see him a lot more. Obviously, with Trent, if he's gonna like allow for him to be moving into that space that he's not going to take up so much, and he's going to like perform in essence a soft pivot role over there for when Trent does invert. But as people noted, Stefano, even JK earlier, Trent didn't find himself in that role too much. He was more so on that right side when it came to his heat map. What were you going to give Endo, Brian?
I was going to go with a lot of what I mean. I'm only half joking here, but I think we need a steward's inquiry into key passes, because like I say, stats are dangerous in the wrong hands. That's all I'm saying. Not yours. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying they're dangerous in the wrong hands. Key passes.
Oh, why did you come across someone using a stat for Endo?
No, I'm just saying key. No, look, stats are like I said. I know people who have degrees in statistics, and they get massively infuriated when they see people in football using statistics, because they're like these guys are okay. It's like it's very simplistically used, but no, I think key passes is like okay, because I've seen this like score. I've seen this like have some stats that don't match up. But no, like I said, I'm only half joking. But 2 out of 7 ground duels won is not good.
That's not good.
That's one stuck out for me because he hit one good long ball and completed a dribble. that's great. But 2 out of 7 ground duels for a defensive midfielder, that's the one that rings a little bit of a bell there for me. I'm sorry, but so maybe he wasn't as effective. Maybe he, But anyway, look, we as everyone was saying, like as soon as they went off, the stuff had a bit of it became a bit of a house of cards there and all collapsed for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't deny his effectiveness. So I'll go with the crowd on it again with it. I'll say 64 would be around what everyone seems to be saying.
Mm-hmm. I gave away my score. My score was a 68 originally. What was your score again, JK? For him, real quick.
70 for Endo, yeah.
70. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, there's a lot of 70s in the 70 range for him. That's why I was going to adjust accordingly. 76 again from Pop, 75 from Stefano, 71 from Bonker, 77 from Philip. Bernie gave him a 70. Yeah, and Pops is saying to you, Laszlo, he keeps the sheets clean though, so stats can be misinterpreted. Certainly can be.
Well, Pops obviously didn't hear my previous comment where I said football statistics are really massive.
Stefano was saying, giving you backup on that. He said Rodri's ground duels over the weekend was only 40%. It's not something you rarely max out on. Yeah.
No. It isn't. But what I'm saying is 2 out of 7. That tells me. That's not a statistic that's overly, but I mean, he tried it 7 times, which is
that doesn't.
Duels.
That's If you're the DM, your ground duel should be your thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to get goals. You're not going to get
I don't want you to compete. I'm not going to criticize you for
the whole weight against you. You're going to use the ground duels. And
exactly. I'm not going to criticize you for not completing dribbles.
Right.
So it's like, but on your kind of main job bit. But let's keep this rolling. We're only
at I'll give him a 70. I originally had him at a 68 personally, because there was a foul that he gave up that was kind of a stupid foul. It was outside the box, and that really like pushed me away from that 70 range for me personally. But I can understand. Like I said, I'm a man of the people, people's champion. So
People's channel.
That's right. So I'll stick with the 70s. 70. I'll give him a 70. How about for Mac? Mac 10 in the house. Best. I actually think he's got possibly him or Endo have possibly the best picture on here. I think, by the way. What
arms?
Yeah.
Endo's skinny arms.
Yeah.
You see Canada, then he's busting out of the top, and you see Endo, it's all like loose and flappy around his arms. But he'd go toe to toe with Canada in an MMA fight.
The Argentinian antelope. I haven't heard him called that, but that's interesting. Okay. The Argentinian antelope. 70. Okay. JK, what were you going to give? Or I see. Okay, you ready? What would you have given Mac?
Not great. So 60.
Okay, 60. Irishman, what was your score for Mac? I know you're just being silly. I got you, Stefano.
I go with that. Yeah, 60. 62.
62.
Top it up.
Okay.
Not give exactly.
Philip, give him a 70. Okay. Is any other scores you guys want to pop up in there? Pops has said Mac Endo was key yesterday. Kept it real and tidy in the middle. Mac was a 70. Bonkers gives him a 71 as well, same as Endo. I agree with that. I think that combination of McAllister and Endo in the midfield is a very necessary and is a budding relationship, to tell you the truth. It allows for Mac to do the things he needs to and wants to do up in the midfield. And even if it doesn't mean he's scoring, it definitely allows for him to play his game for certain.
But can I just say, for a couple of people that might be new in the chat, it might sound like I'm kind of wimping out on, but unfortunately for reasons, I had to leave after 62 minutes, so I only saw the first hour of the game. So when I'm kind of passing off like, oh well, I don't know, whatever you say, I'm not like wimping out on
Yeah,
grading people. It's just I only saw the
we all
first
know
hour.
that.
So there's a
We
couple.
all know that.
No,
You don't have
I
to.
know there's a couple of no,
Yeah,
there's a couple of new people in chat because it sounds like I'm saying, well, whatever he says, I'll go with that. It's not because I'm wimping out. It's just I only saw an hour and we were 3-0 up.
right,
So I
right.
didn't see his collapse. I didn't see the defensive collapse.
Come on, you're called the
So
Irishman
yeah,
for the
yeah.
Irishman for a reason. We all know that's there's no wimping out. There's no wimping out. Not said, not said. Yeah.
What
Bernie says
idea?
Bernie's got a 65. He says 65 for her. He had great moments, but went missing at times. I love Bernadette's really. I like Bernadette's analysis. It's really spot on. Stefano says Mac ground duels 5 out of 6 for 83%. Yeah. So let's give Mac. Let's give him a
Oh, I
7.
didn't get to rate him. I didn't get to
Oh,
rate him.
I thought you did rate him. My fault. What was your rating?
No.
I can adjust.
Yeah, I would say just from what I saw, and I think he went off pretty soon afterwards.
He went
And
off
like that,
in the. He played 75 minutes.
yeah. So yeah, basically, I'd go
He went off when we
75.
were up 4-0. He went off. He went off with a
Yeah,
clean sheet. Put it that way.
yeah. I'd go 75 because that 5 out of 6, it just shows like he's a little terrier. You know, he's so
First,
good on
he
the
went off
ball.
he went off when it was 4-1. By the way, he did. He went off when it was
Well,
4-1.
yeah. He's not someone you like. He's the kind of guy that the other midfielders look at him and go, "Oh, thank God he's going off."
Mm-hmm.
He's exactly like he's tenacious. That 5 out of 6 ground duels. Well, I'm not saying like, throwing shade at them. I'm just saying that shows how tenacious he is. He's not just about this and that on the ball. He really gets stuck in. So we need to build a midfield around this kid as far as I'm concerned.
I will. I'll stick with the 70 then. You still didn't give a score though.
Oh, sorry, I did. I said I'd go higher. I'd go 75.
Oh, 75. Okay, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna keep it at the 70 mark because everyone pretty much gave him like 7. They're overwhelmingly 70s in there. And that's
71?
right around. That's where I would have given them to. By the way.
No.
How
71?
about for arguably definitely a candidate for man of the match? Harvey Elliott. I don't know if the streets. I don't know if the streets are still here. I would love to hear the streets rating on Elliott. But
Well, he
what do you
left.
guys
He
have?
left earlier.
Yeah. I
He
think
he
maybe
left.
he did leave earlier because he knew
Well,
Harvey
he
was
left to go and watch
about.
Palace.
Oh,
No,
maybe.
he left. He said he said I'm going off to watch a proper team and go and watch
I
Palace.
got you.
So
I
I don't know.
got you.
I don't know.
All right.
All right, JK.
Yeah. I got
JK.
JK. I got him.
Uh,
What was your rating then
what I see.
for
See,
good old ringlets here?
This is the one I missed. You see, like he was excellent all game, like I was saying, but he seems to have kind of put the icing on the cake in the bit that I didn't see in the later part.
No, his goal was
his goal.
His goal was
Yeah.
was like one of those wonder goal type goals. His goal was a beauty of a goal.
Oh,
Absolute
like I
beauty.
mean, yeah, I've seen it, but I didn't get to see it live. So, like, he was excellent all game.
Right.
But like we were talking about earlier on, a lot of people are saying best game they've seen him play for Liverpool. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, all this stuff. So goal, assist, 5 chances created. Yeah, that sounds pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having that
Goal,
kind of game.
assist, 5 chances created. Yep.
That's a proper performance. That is being consistently involved, pulling the trigger, creating. What a ball! What a ball!
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like the guy when he wants to, he could. You can see the interplay, the understanding, all of that. Absolutely fantastic. like just even without
It's
not,
three, by the
I'll
way.
go. Oh, it's three, but three.
Mhm.
Well, Rasta must be delighted. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go 92. Just to
Oh,
yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
three,
go
by the way. Okay,
92.
I got you. Now I know. It's 3-0. Is it 3-0 already in that game?
Oh, the Eagles are flying high. What's his name? Sorry, I know I should have said what's his
Look,
name. Just
they've
rewind.
taken that new manager
Yeah.
bounce and just run
No,
with it.
GTV. GTV will be having great fun tonight.
Yeah, yeah. His
As we all
team,
know, as we all know,
yeah,
as we all know,
GTV
he's a
will be
massive Palace
on
fan.
cloud nine as his Crystal
Oh,
Palace are doing their duty. I guess. Yes, yes. You know, it's easy. It's a little bit easier when you have like 3-4 different teams, but to say that, but all the same,
spread it thin, and it covers. You know, if you spread it thin enough, it covers a bigger area. You know.
yeah.
So,
I'd like to know why. I'd like to see why Pops and Philip gave him an 82 and an 83. That's extremely low for what was it about this game that made you say, and I'm not saying that 83 is a bad score, but I'm just saying that considering again, like the stats you just brought up, 5 key passes. He was 1 out of 2 for his crosses, 2 out of 3 for his long balls. 16 he had 69 touches, pause, but he also had 89% for his passing. He's had only an XG of 0.35, but played 83 minutes, had an assist, had a goal, 3 out of 4 for his ground duels. He was fouled once, was offside once, and had 1 tackle. And if you look at his heat map, it was just everywhere on the heat in his heat map. He was left. He was more so right sided, but it was central right side of the pitch. I see Bernie gave him a 90, for instance. Let's see. There's some other scores in here. Bonkers gave him a 90. I'm more on the lines of that. I gave him a 95, to be honest with you.
I get 92.
Yeah, 92 from you. JK, what was your score for him?
For me, Harvey 95. I think probably his best game, probably in a Liverpool shirt.
Yeah, easily. Pops.
Well, I actually,
Brian was speaking about that earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well, you gave him a much more definitive answer. He said easily. I asked you. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a load of people are saying this. Like,
yeah. But I think
Pops is sticking with his 83. He's like man of the match for him with his 83.
Brilliant. But I reckon the only thing I sort of thought was a minus point in his game was his crossing within the game and stuff. But he got an assist yesterday, so he sort of improved that as well. So for me, well done. He sports Liverpool, so he's going to give 100%. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some interesting scores here.
can I ask JK a question quick? Because I put this to 12 man before you came on. Obviously nobody the only player at this club who has had any manager other than Jurgen Klopp is Joe Gomez. Right now, obviously some of the academy boys like Trent might have been here when Rodgers was there. Probably they were Jones as well, maybe. But really young. But Harvey was brought in as a 16-year-old by Klopp. So, like very impressionable age, 16, 17. That's when you make the big, that's, where you're kind of the most emotionally open to things. So he will see him as the biggest, most important father figure ever in his life. So I was saying, like, in the top tier of players will be sad to see him. I think Harvey Elliott's going to take this the hardest, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see what Reels and Jared's saying. He gave him an 8 because Elliott many times deferred to Stala when he could have moved the ball forward to a player right there. Needs to stop doing that.
Oh yeah, they still have that salad. Yeah, sorry, JK, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I think Harvey sort of improved his game because he always knows in a game he can give it to Salah. He used that as to get into a game. I think he was sort of important to him in a weird sort of way, because he always knows Salah will be there next to him on the right hand side, you know. So there's always a reason behind everything, and I think also Elliot, he can have a future at the club, I believe, and I think a lot of people
Oh, you think?
No, but bro, a few fans have over the years said he's not Liverpool good enough for Liverpool, you know. And I don't really understand that. Along with the Darwin news over the last week, over today about fans like going mad at him and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, when you support a Liverpool football club, you have no time to do them sort of things. So for me, Elliot got a bit bashed, but I've always supported him because I realise he supports Liverpool, and that's enough for me, you know. It's important.
Yeah, no doubt.
Living a dream, that kid. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna stick with the 95 and be just do a little executive privilege here and give my 95. I thought it was his best game. I thought it was his best game.
Oh my god.
For nothing.
Ten Hag, what are you doing?
Yeah. Wow.
What are you doing, mate?
Yeah. I bet this is I wonder if you remember that comment that I brought up before on the earlier show when I was saying how his comment of he thinks they are the most dynamic, I think, playing team or something like that. What was this?
Yeah, they were
crazy comment where you're just like, what are you talking about? I heard about trying to get your teams back, but you're just outright lying. Let's move on to Mo. I see Dustin. I got your score, Dustin. Dustin gave him an 80. That's kind of surprising too. Dustin and Realism Jared all gave him in the 80s. Interesting. Let's move on to Salah. Salah, got the opening goal for us. Salah doing Salah as things in the sense of, showing up and just performing. He also got an assist as well in this game. Had 4 shots on target, 1 shot off target, 1 shot blocked. There was that shot that he should have had 2 goals, to be honest with you. I know you didn't see this part, but there was an effort, or there was an opportunity for Salah where he could have just, tapped it in. And unfortunately, he was just kind of like, he saw the defender moving into the position to kind of like take the to do the best clearance that they could at the ball or something, and it kind of knocked him off his focus. Yeah. I guess you could say. Is that the way of saying it, JK? Would you see it that way too?
Yeah.
And
I think that little deflection. Well, not that deflection. What happened? He thought he was going to touch the ball, and he didn't, and then he got caught out. But in a weird sort of way, I think if he had his foot sort of placed right, he might have got that in. But it was just weird. It was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
That Romario, he sort of headed it, but he didn't move, and it sort of hit his hand or whatever. That was a bit weird as well. I don't know. 2 sort of weird sort of situations.
Yeah. Let's see. Philip says Mo was much better than he has been recently. He gave him a 65. Wow, Philip, that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's a kind of a shit sandwich there, isn't it? It's kind of like. Look. I remember.
If much better is him playing to a 65, then he must have been
actually. But 12 man. If you think and you look back at some of our ratings for Atalanta and Palace, then actually that would make sense because we were scoring these boys in the 10s and the 15s and the 20s.
Yeah,
can't deny that. Look back at some
of them 10s or 20s. Yes, that's certainly
yeah. We were given some over in our what will come back to be look at our horror month of April where we got knocked out of basically 4 competitions in the space of a month by Man United, Atalanta, and then everything else happened in 3 competitions. Sorry, and then in the league. we were given 10s and 20s all over the shop
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
multiple games in a row. Like, remember, we weren't even, I'm sorry, but people forget, we were not on the Liver Bird. We were on the Liver Bus. We were taking the Greyhound. There was no
Yeah.
money for the Liver Bird
Yeah.
after some of those results. It was the
We were doing,
Omnibus.
were you kidding? We're doing ride shares.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
actually, so when you think about it, Phillips' score actually would, when he says it like that, yeah, that makes sense. But that just shows you how bad we
Yeah.
were over the last few
Yeah.
weeks. But for
Bernie
me,
gave him an 80. Bernie gave him an 80. Bonkers gave him a 75. Stefano said he was cooking again, gave him an 82. Pops gave him a 78. Says Mo, he should have scored a hat trick. He could have easily.
can I just say, if anybody watched the Sky Sport, now when I was talking about what Gary Neville was saying, the Tottenham kind of blah 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 stuff, he
mm,
was only saying that like for the first like 12 minutes, 10 minutes kind of thing. He wasn't saying for the whole game. He said, "Oh, Tottenham been really good here in the first 10 minutes." He wasn't saying like after an hour. But do you remember that shot, or whether it was kind of like when Mo clipped it with the outside of his boot and it hit the bar?
mm,
In I think it was 0-0 at that. Yeah, it was still 0-0, and it was just like he'd had one chance already. Then he came in and he tried like a beautiful, just outside of the boot shot, beat the keeper and hit the
mm.
bar. That was a brilliant effort. I knew it was on then. To be honest, it's going to be one of those days where they're just like, no, Lazo, that was, or sorry, Pops, that was not a cross gone wrong. That was not a cross gone wrong, Pops.
Hmm.
No way. Look at it back. He meant that. He meant that.
Mm.
100.
I don't know if I don't think he got. I don't know if I don't think
I don't think that was a
I don't think Mo's
cross.
assist was
No,
for Harvey's goal. I don't think.
no, no,
But I could
no.
be.
But yeah, no, Pops, you're agreeing with Gary Neville there because that's what Gary Neville was saying. Oh, Salah just tried to kind of throw one in there and it went past the keeper. No, no, that's not what I saw. I saw Salah outside of the boot trying to chip him. That's what I saw. I don't know what do other people think. I thought that was it. I thought that was an attempt on goal, 100% on, and I'll stick by that.
Yeah, no,
But
no.
Pops
I
thinks
don't
there was
know
a
what
cross gone wrong.
was. Yeah, I don't know. It looked like he just kind of like saw the defender in the corner of his eye and it kind of threw him off. And that little half second of a or half second of a
And help the
hesitation
Pops.
made the difference in that approach.
Yeah,
Dustin has Mo at 80. Stefano says 78. And yeah. What was your score,
Yeah,
Jake? What was your score, JK?
I'm going to give him an 85 because he had that sort of energy where he used to play, like, always ready to do something, and he actually got us the first goal, the most important one, and
Yeah,
the way he got
agreed.
it was a nice goal, nice little header and stuff.
It was a nice header. It was a really nice header. And on top of that, it shows what we've been all asking for is that, like, we get it, Mo, like, you are a superstar. We get it. Everyone has their own ways of dealing with, poor form and having criticism towards that poor form. And, at times being sat, or having to, figure it out from the bench somewhat. But, for him to get his opportunity in the next game after the whole dust up that happened in the game before that and score, that was good to see. It was like,
Exactly.
That's professional. That's being a professional, in my opinion.
Exactly, bro. And I think another thing, since that's happened, it gives another reason for certain fans to moan about Salah. Name me another guy who does what he does.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world in his position.
Yeah.
So for me, he could stay another 2 years.
Pops is taking a little bit against us, saying that,
No, I just want to say, Pops, I didn't put you in with Neville. I'm just saying you just happen to agree with him that he was just flinging one in there. I think he meant it. Maybe, look, maybe he didn't, but the way I saw that, it's Mo. It's an outside. I think at best, it was if this doesn't go in, someone might get on the end of it. But I think he was
Yeah.
looking for it.
Yeah. Totally. I was reacting to a comment.
What
Sorry
minute
about
was that, Brian? Right.
So I'm giving him 85, by the way.
What minute was that?
I don't. I'll have to look and see about that. I don't get this guy broadcast, so I didn't hear him say that. But I'm gonna stick with Mo getting an 85. Cody, Agent Cody. 'Cause that's one of his signature. He just does the old to the crowd, like, Agent Cody checking in. Cody Hackbo, the very much maligned Cody Hackbo, and now once again starting to be praised and glorified. Cody Hackbo. Very interesting fan base sometimes. What are we saying about Cody? What are we rating Cody at? I'm telling you, I hope that you guys don't. I already have a man of the match, pretty much who I thought was going to be a man of the match. Hopefully, you guys don't go against it. But let me hear what you guys are saying about Cody. Philip gave him a 74. Stefano says Cody was really good again. Gave him a 78. Cody had a good game. Bernie gave him a 75. Pop says he is also a dad now, 12, so he sucked the thumb. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that. That was cool. That was on his goal. Yeah, that was cool. Hackbo was an 80 for Beijing Pops. He had 1 goal, 2 chances. What were you saying about Cody in this game, Irishman?
Yeah, I had him down for a goal, had him down to start, so he didn't let me down. I thought he was worthy of the start. I thought he was in good form. And yeah, there wasn't an out-and-out number 9. He was left, he was central, he was a bit on the right, he was, he did a lot. But he popped up with when that ball went in, I could see he was going to head it, but I thought, nah, there's no chance he'll score because it would be a really weak one. Because the way it was going to be really hard to get any power on it. But even Gary Neville was saying, like, he's done unbelievably well there because you can't get the way that ball has come in and the way he's jumping, you can't get power on it.
Right.
You have to guide it.
Right.
And it's a really tiny area to guide it. And because I saw him going, oh, he's on this, but that's my mind. It just goes, no, the keeper will stop this because
right, yeah. Because it's hard to get any real pace behind.
Yeah, you could see him and it just went in, and I was like, how the hell did he do that?
Yeah.
Because just the way he just placed it, it was just perfect. Like the guy, he's shown us all the time that he has all the tools. Every time he plays, he does something where it's like, he can do this, he can do that. He can score. He can score with his head. He can score from outside the box. He can score bottom corner finishes from either side. He can do everything. He can assist. So it's obvious that there's a serious little player there. So he's there to be like, let's let him do what he does, because if a manager can play him in a system that fits him, play him every single game of the season, get him in a good position that he's happy with, plays 28, 30 games. Look at it. What can't he do? He can assist, he can head, he can shoot. What more do you want? He's big, he's strong, he's tall, he's quick. Serious player. Give him 85. Goal and assist. Brilliant.
85. 85 it is. JK, what's your score from?
Gapco as well. I'll give him 85 as well.
All right.
Good round.
I know we had a lot of like 78, 75s. I know 74s. I saw Stefano up his score to an 80. Panos gave him 85s. I'm going to up it just a little bit because I'll just be transparent. I had Cody as being my man of the match, to be honest with you. It was going to be either between Harvey or Cody for me, and I I've given Harvey the man of the match before and not given it to Cody because of that. I felt as though maybe this is my I would give Cody that nod this time. But I'm gonna up it up to a 90. I think that he played exceptionally well. People are saying it's one goal, but people are also missing the fact that he had a goal and an assist in this game.
No, everyone's putting that. Yeah.
Yeah, the goal and assist. He only had two.
Yeah.
He got 2 shots on target. Didn't have a lot of opportunities. I mean, he was more so doing the role of being a being just doing his role of as going out left, because there was opportunities for the next player that I'm going to bring up to actually kind of be on. His own agenda. That is what I am on right now with Cajun Cody.
But how can somebody I know, how can you be a Liverpool fan, right, and look at that game and watch the game with just fucking forget about everything else for 5 seconds and just watch the game and then say, oh, but he only had 1 shot and 1 assist. I mean, seriously, just come on. Like, how can you this isn't like again this whole argument, right? You're nuts. Stats eye test. Just use your knowledge, use your whole brain. Use all.
No, he was engaged. He was super engaged. One for one for aerial goals. Was like,
no, but what I'm saying is don't even list them off.
Yeah,
like, don't even list them off. That's what I'm saying.
60% of his ground duels. Yeah. Exactly.
But you're missing the point. What I'm saying, you don't even list any of it off. I don't care. Watch the game. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
You don't have to go. Nobody had. You have someone coming out and going, "Oh, he only had 1 shot." I don't fucking care. I'm not saying stats don't matter. I'm not saying eye test is the only thing ever. Just watch the game. He was brilliant. It's an easy.
I thought he was good. I thought it was definitely like very, very.
It's just it's just a great game. It's a good. Just watch it. It's fine. Like
I think that
I come in and go, "Oh, he only had 1 shot, one." Come on, man. Come on, seriously. Let the guy have a good game and just say it was a good game.
Yeah. I thought Diaz had a good game too. One of the unique thing about Diaz was that, and it's something that I would like to see us do maybe a little bit more, and that is, especially with his ability to dribble, maybe not limiting himself to that left side and having him go from left to central. Excuse me. There was portions of the game where he was centrally located on the pitch for us, and that, if anything, was like in essence was like playing a de facto striker in essence for us at times, and he was effective in breaking the line for us in that attribute. So it was. I thought that was a cool concept to see Diaz being utilized in.
We're switching constantly. Yeah. They were. It was really cool. Like Gakpo was in, Diaz was in. Yeah.
Yep.
Constant movement. It was really constant movement. Rotation.
Yep. Fluidity. Definitely a fluid front three. If not sometimes a front four at essence sometimes. Big up Jimmy. Good to see you. What would you rate Diaz? I know Bonkers gave him a 73. Okay. What would you have rated Diaz at?
JK?
Not great. Non-stop running, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't involved with the goals or the assists, so I just give him a 65.
A 65?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. About right. If he was, no goals, no assists, so the usual hard running, hard working.
Yeah, I mean he was
I'm on the
34 touches. 34 touches. He was 34 touches. He was 100% his 100% accuracy for his passing. He had 1 key pass. He was 7 out of 10 for his ground duels.
Did he get the 90? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Did he play the 90?
No, he didn't. I don't. He got 70. He got pulled at 75.
So I saw most of his game. Yeah, I saw most of his game. So yeah, 65. I'll be happy 65. Anyway.
Was fouled 3 times in this game. Fouled 3 times. He was a problem for them. He's a real problem for him. He did go offside once, and he knew it. But that was right before he got subbed off, I think. But but yeah, he played 75 minutes. He was doing work. He was definitely work. You can't question this hustle. Lucho was a 70 for Pops, a 70 for Stefano. Okay. Did you? What were your 2 ratings, real quick, one more time? I know you had 65, JK, right?
Yeah.
And you had what, like a 68 or something like that, I think, Irishman, or something around this.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to rate him. I was going to go eat it, but when you said he was taking off that early, I was like, yeah, I pretty much saw most of his game. So
Yeah, he saw most of his game.
he did Diaz stuff. He
Yeah.
had that one mad attempt. He had a one mad kind of
Yeah.
attempt that had it gone in, it would have been great. But
I'm gonna say like everyone had him at like more like the 70-ish range. I'm gonna go. I think it was more 65 from Jimmy. Okay. Bernadette had him at 65 also. I thought someone else had him at the rating I had him. Oh, Bonkers had him at the rating I had him. I'm gonna stick with that one. 65, 68, 70, 72, 73 here. I'll stick with a 73. I thought I despite him not getting goals and assists, I know that's very important, but he was really engaged, super engaged in the game. I think that it's amazing. Like out of all the players, Diaz is certainly one of the unique players in our front line that can create and go at the back line utilizing his dribbling. And it's a very important asset that he has. All right, let's get into the subs. We're going to rifle through these subs. We're only going to give ratings. We're not going to go into like too much of a breakdown on their play, because again, like I thought all the subs for the most part was like 60-ish, maybe 50-ish, in the 60s and 50s, pretty much.
Darwin Núñez gets 2.
Okay. I heard you. Yeah.
I didn't even see the guy play.
12 taking you serious is like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want an agenda. You're about to see an agenda on that one. I'm not dropping him down to a 2. All right, Gravenberch. For Gravenberch, what do you guys got for Gravenberch? He subbed in for McAllister in the 75th minute. Whoops.
50, didn't really notice him. Yeah.
I see you, Pops. I see you. What were you at with him? For Gravenberch, Irishman, what do you want to give him? And then JK, I'll go to you. Irishman, what'd you give him?
I did.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay, I'll defer. Since all the subs were after, I'll defer to JK on this part. JK.
Yeah, 50 didn't really notice him.
Okay.
But he did okay,
Okay.
Gravenberch should be lucky to get 50 on top.
Gravenberch should be lucky to get 50. All right.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Gravenberch gets a 33. Dang, you guys are brutal. I would have said I would have given him at least like 50s and 60s, but yeah. Gravenberch played 15 minutes, basically 20 minutes, maybe, because there's 7 minutes extra time.
In a weird sort of way, I wished after Rooney got that goal the other week, he carried on playing. He missed the Everton game, didn't need him to start that game.
Yeah.
So I thought it was up. I thought, it was perfect for him to start his going forward, in his Liverpool career.
Right. I had him. I didn't have Gravenberch that low, but dang, everyone really, all right, 60s, 50s. All right, I'm gonna have to change some of these scores, I guess, that I had already put in here. We'll go with a 50.
Well, I should hope you would be prepared to change the scores that you've already put in. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point with us, can't be locked in. Gotta give it to the people.
No, none of my scores are locked in. It's just more so I like to see where I go with like the algorithm, and I go with like my eye test, and I gauge it off of that. But like I'd like to see where everyone goes with it. They are the ones that they are the ones with the negative plus minus for sure. So I can understand that. And like I said, it's a people's channel, so I definitely am trying to be accommodating. Let's give them a 55 then for Gravenberch. How about that?
He's almost not enough minutes to really great. So I'd give all of these boys less than 20 minutes, like a flat 50. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's where I'd put
Yeah. Well, Gomez and Bichetic had plenty. They did have like 30 minutes of play, over 30 minutes of play. But the other stops were at the 75th minute and at the 83rd minute. So that's a little different story. Because it's definitely a different story. How about let's just get this one out and over with. Darwin.
Because he's my favorite Liverpool player, I'm gonna give him 3. Nah, I'm not gonna give him 3.
Oh.
I'll give him 50 as well, bro. You know, what can I do? You know, you can give a player 15, 20 if he's played 90 minutes and let him 2-3 goals and he just had the like thingy. But for me, Darwin, like, what could he do? For me, he should have came on a little bit earlier.
22 minutes played, had like, minutes played, 15 minutes played. Well, what the extra time, 22.
Not really a lot, is it? So for me, he should have came on.
He had one shot. He had 5 touches. He touched the ball 5 times.
That's not a lot.
You can't judge. You can't judge on
that.
Yeah.
For some reason, he doesn't look like he wants to get involved. If you understand my point. Back in the days, that was his job, to get involved somehow, and he'll do it. But for some reason, the last month or so, not doing nothing in that way. Just weird. But I think actually he ran back. He actually chased the ball down. You remember that one where he sort of chased the defender to the next guy? So yeah. But I wanted to say at Liverpool, you know,
can't pick him up for You're gonna hear Pop saying you can't pick him up for doing his job. I know, Pop.
Yeah,
I already know that's already coming. All right, so let me rifle through these then. All right, Nunez got a 20 from Pops. He got a 30. A 30 from Stefano. I think that's right.
Surely he's NA at that. He has to be an NA.
I would like to give him an NA just so I can avoid having to rate him against a lot of these.
Give him 80 because he did nothing in 12 minutes. I mean, the guy didn't have any time really. So
Darwin,
give him the flat 50. Just give him the flat 50. He came on as a sub, didn't do anything wrong.
That's what I had him at actually. I had him at a flat 50.
Just give him the entry fee, as it were.
We'll give him an entry fee of 50.
The participation.
We'll give him 50 cents. I want to move quickly off of this Darwin talk because I don't want to get into. I don't want to get too into the weeds.
It's about to go up.
Yeah.
Darwin. Yeah.
And we only got like 7 minutes left of the show here. Bichetic. Let's just give a quick score of Bichetic because, I mean, like we all agree, came on. Bichetic's one of those players that did come on and was able to get some minutes, actually. So what were your rating on Bichetic?
Didn't see him.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm just asking, JK.
Yeah. 30. He started it off nice where he did a little turn, and he did that back in the days once in a game when he was playing for us, and he did this little turn. And he advanced with the ball. I was like, yo, I like that. And he did it again yesterday. But he tried to give it Salah the ball, and it was just a few centimeters away from him. But he couldn't get really into the game. And I think, you know, when you play football and you haven't played for a long time, what happens? It feels like all the players are sort of on top of you. And I think he had that sort of feeling. And he couldn't really settle, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a 30. But good to see him back anyway. That was the main thing. Seeing him on the pitch was a good thing.
Yes, he was definitely rusty, as Bernadette said. And Pops goes, Steph struggled badly with the pace of the game. I agree with that completely. He got 35 from him, from Pops. And Stefano gave him a 35 as well. Steph is on the popcorn diet. Yeah, he could use a little bit of a bulk up. He's tall, but like he could use maybe a little bulk up.
I don't know. Look at Sergio
If we gave,
Busquets,
yeah,
who
if
is
we gave
probably
no,
the preeminent player in that position over the last 20 years. Basically
True.
made that Barcelona team tick. Look at
Mhm.
Busquets. He is wiry. There ain't no muscle on him.
He's thin.
It's all in the brain. It's all in the brain. I don't need these guys to be massive.
no, yeah,
The
yeah.
bulk. It's all about core strength. Like I played against guys in 5-a-side that look like they can be just pushed over in an instant.
Mhm,
Try and
mhm.
push them over. Once they plant their feet, try and push them over. Not get near them. Core strength. Don't
His
worry
inner
about
strength.
bulk.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah,
His
you look at these
mentality.
guys. Yeah, as long as he's fit enough and strong enough, you don't need him to go, oh, he needs more muscle on him. Why? Slows him
Yep.
down, makes him more
Mhm.
prone to injuries, more time in the gym, all that stuff. No, that gym stuff has fed into football now, and you don't need it, man. You don't need it. You need to be like your peak self. You don't need to, an extra bulk up on him. No. Yeah, no, Lazo, I keep doing this. Pops, I get that, but it's not all Rodri. Rodri's just a big bastard. Have you ever seen Rodri? Rodri is just thick, as they say these days. He's just a big, thick guy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's not a bulky guy. Yeah, of course they have muscle on him. So something like that will bulk up a little bit more, but it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be. Rodri is one player. I know Busquets is one player. But let's not overemphasize this need to look like you're built. It doesn't matter. Does Thiago look like he's built? Does Modric look like he's built? These guys are
No.
controlling midfield for the last 20 years. Modric looks like he'd get blown away by a strong breeze. Try and
Yeah,
get him off
yeah.
the ball.
No, I'm with
Iniesta
Stefan.
was 7 stone wet.
I get what you're
Yeah,
saying, but I'm with Stefan. I wouldn't
you know.
mind him. He's saying Anthony. He's not saying Anthony Joshua style, but like 7
No, of
pounds,
course. I'm not going
few,
to that
few
extreme
extra
either. But what I'm
stones
saying
wouldn't
is,
help.
yeah,
Wouldn't hurt, basically.
no, but
Let's
He
go
just
on.
he'll
don't.
have a
Let's
guy in
Yeah.
the gym that'll tell
He
him
just
things like
didn't look like a
what
DM.
is. Yeah, but
yeah.
he'll have a perfect weight. If his perfect weight is this and that, yeah, just because he has a few muscles, like I'm just saying, let's not. Oh, yeah, look at the kid. He's only a young kid. Let him develop naturally. I like if he can just use his touch. That's what I'm saying. Don't. Okay, look, but maybe it helps. What I'm saying is, everyone these days goes to the gym. There's this emphasis on having both.
Yes.
I don't see it. I don't see it. It's not the most
I'm gonna give
important.
him a. I'm gonna give Bichetic a 50. Try to move this along because we have two more. Trying to get done pretty soon here. Joey G. How about Joey G? Just a score on Joey G.
70.
70. Okay.
What JK said.
70.
70.
Yeah, I had him. I actually had Joey G at his 63. How about for you guys in the chat? What you guys want to do for Joey G? If you want Joey G's score, Joey G had enough time to score, so I'll see what you guys score, Joey G. Yeah,
One
I didn't
off the
think Joey
line.
G had a good game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, one off the line and one interception he did as well. Important interception. They would have scored if he didn't do that. So
That's
I think he
true.
did
That's
pretty well.
certainly true.
That's why I give him 70. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Scores are all over the place for Joey G from the chat. 38 for Joey G from Pops. They were the ones who conceded the goals. Agree with that. Bernie gave Joey G a 70, and Dustin gave Joey G. Dustin gave Gooey G. I know you mean Dustin. I'm messing with you. An 80. I did not really. Stefano saw it as a 40. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna stick with what I had. I guess closer to. I'll give him a 63. 63 is what I had him at. I didn't think he had a good game, to be honest with you. Not a great game, but he did have a couple of stabs at it.
Yeah, but that
Dom.
clearance off the line was very important at the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me see what that was. Let me see. real quick. While I'm looking that up, what was Dom's performance for you guys?
Didn't really notice him as well. Yeah,
He got only in for like
2
he's like an
minutes.
NA. He could be an NA, considering
Yeah.
he got in the 83rd minute. You
Yeah, you
know,
can't really rate him.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you know,
that's
like
NA written on.
it'd
NA
be
written
really
all over
harsh
it.
to like really be that critical of him for that.
I wouldn't be
I gave him
critical.
a score. I gave him a score, but I mean, like he played 14 minutes basically total.
Yeah,
And that's with the extra time. And
I
then
think
like
he needs. I think he needs this summer more than anyone in our team. Maybe go away with the national team in the tournament and stuff in the Euros. Maybe sort his head out a little bit for next season.
mhm.
Yeah, very important for him.
Yeah, I would. He's like an NA. I'll just say an NA for him, even though you'll see a score, but I'll still say he's NA.
Did they qualify?
Who?
Hungary
Did they? Did they?
for the Euros. Hungary, yeah, I think they did. Yeah,
I think they did. I'm
Did
not.
they?
I don't know
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They did. They
We're
did.
gonna
Yeah.
do. We're gonna
Oh,
do a
okay.
Euro show. We're gonna do a Euro show. So we'll get some updates and we'll get like all like on the right page. We're gonna do a couple international tournament shows during the break here because I actually do have. I have a couple of friends actually that are going to be playing in the for the U.S. men's national team, so I want to cover that. And also, I have an interest in the Euros because we're gonna. I think what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to focus in on the teams that have Liverpool players involved in the match. So
There's a few. Yeah,
we're trying
there's a few.
along those lines. Just so you guys know, as a heads up, we will
Yeah,
cover
Hungary.
We will cover the Euros.
Hungary in the same group as Scotland and Germany, Brian.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our
Very
number.
aggressive.
This was this question. This thing says our number 8 and number 9 need to head off to the mountains and come back fully locked and loaded for the next season. Those numbers weigh heavily, and they need to show up big time next season.
Facts.
Yes,
I believe in that
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
those are pretty. Yes, those are definitely pretty standard facts for sure. All right, so now best part of the show, easily one of the best parts of the show. Jurgen Klopp. How are we going to rate our manager? What was your ratings on our manager? Do you think he got the lineup right? I personally think he got the lineup right.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
you spot on. I mean, like you don't get 4-0 out of nowhere, like out of sheer luck.
Yeah.
You could take him down a notch or two with going by putting Pachetic in, maybe that kind of like mess with a lot of the fluidity on the pitch. You could maybe take him down a notch by the sheer fact that he did put Gomez on and it didn't do as much of a reassurance in the right on that left side. He possibly could have like subbed. He possibly could have put Gomez in, if not Connor Bradley, taking Trent out and kept Robbo in, because Robbo I thought was having a very good game.
Yeah.
But all the same, what are you guys going to rate our Kaiser? Pop was a 9 in the first half, and then the subs come on. I know for sure. Bernie said he got the lineup right, but not the subs, so she gives him a 70. How about for you, Irishman, and then we'll go to you, JK. You want to give a score?
Yeah, no, Wendy. I will. Yeah, you gave us all the reasons to knock him down, but so I don't know. Those are
also
like
gave you reasons to keep him up too.
Yeah, I know, but you said you asked me for a score and said you can knock him down for this, you can knock him down for that. I wouldn't knock him down for any of those things.
Okay.
I wouldn't knock them down for any. Like, I mean, if you want to know my score, I'll tell you my score. I don't. If other people want to knock them down for that.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, brother.
Basically, Basically, like the guy has basically thrown out a team there and just said, "Look, just go out and do it," and they did it because this is a guy. I would love to know what that dressing room was like. Like, they had They had a problem selling that documentary. Everyone was talking about when's that documentary coming out. The studio
I
people
can't
weren't
believe
picking
they
it up.
have a problem selling that. That's crazy. They did. I'm
Channels,
not saying. I'm not
channels
denying it.
did one.
I'm just
No,
saying.
no,
I'm
I'm just saying.
surprised. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
what I'm saying, nobody had it picked up.
Yeah.
Nobody had it picked up. Like, I would love to see what it's like in that dressing room now. Before that time.
I'm going to watch the documentary. You kidding me? Absolutely.
Oh no, it will come out. Like eventually it
Yeah.
will come out, but they were expecting to be like snapped up straight away, and people were like, "No, I don't know," which is crazy, like you say. But to know like how, like what does him walking into a dressing room, talking about those boys afterwards, saying, "Oh yeah, brilliant lads, well done for beating Tottenham 4-2 in the game that means absolutely nothing, and I'm going to be gone in 2 weeks." I mean, this is a weird situation that's going on here. This is not normal. Guy that's been there nearly a decade is walking out the door. And we've won a
Mhm.
meaningless game. We've done really well. Brilliant. And the football manager in you comes out and goes, yeah, brilliant, great goal. But it's all kind of meaningless at the end of the day. So they're in a weird little vacuum at the moment where, yeah, it's all great and it's all good. But I mean, they're looking at clock going, in about 3.5 weeks, there's going to be a bald Dutch guy standing there telling me what to do. They're in a weird little kind of fantasy land of this is great, but it's kind of meaningless and it's all over now. So I can't wait to see that documentary, see how that unfolds. What does that look like in a dressing room? Where it's like, yeah, well done, you beat Spurs 4-2, but still third. You know, not gonna. I'm off. It's a very very strange situation. It really is.
So, what was your score?
Oh, is that? Yeah, oh, sorry. Is that? I just gave him a 50.
There's me. I'm getting
No, I
worried
gave him a
now.
50.
Okay. All right.
Brian,
Okay.
that was good, man. That was good.
Okay.
No,
Um,
I gave him a 50. I didn't think it was just like, so what's he going to do? Send him out,
yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
play, do stuff.
JK, what was your score for him?
Like for me, it was going perfect. He got the lineup sorted. Just some substitution, taking Robertson off. So for me, I'll give him a 65.
Okay. Okay. So 15 and 65. Like I said before, Bernie gave him a 70. Stefano gave him an 80. Phillips said 65 for the subs. Before then, he was an 80. Yeah, Stefano says 2 games left. He's going to score them high regardless. Yeah, these are the last couple of scorers that you're going to be able to get in for this Kaiser. So get him in.
This is what I'm,
and, yeah,
this is
get
what
him
I'm
good.
saying. Man. This is what I'm
75.
saying.
Yeah.
What do we do? Like we're scoring. I feel like we're scoring his entire career here at this stage.
No,
If we say
yeah, right.
anything other than no, but when you say anything, it's like the last time we're going to say any of this stuff.
Yeah. It does bring a lot more precedence to the scores. 75 was Jimmy's score. Says he brought on too many subs in his opinion. Absolutely, Dustin. By the way, I can't emphasize this enough. They did. They looked engaged. They looked like they understood what it meant to when he said press. In some reason, for some reason, more so than not. But let's see. Bonker said he's a 60. Bayesian Pops had him at a 70. Okay. I am going to say for Art Kaiser, since this I will be, like I said, the agenda is running thick today. I'll give him a 70. I'll give him a 75. He got the win. He bounced it back. He got his rant out about he's getting his rants out. He's being more free with his rants. He gave his fist pumps at the end, was able to get his fist pumps at the end of the win. It was kind of fun when he kind of shrugged it. He kind of walked up like he was in the WWE, like kind of like got this little stroll going on before, like, because he looked towards one side of the pitch, and he kind of was just like, do you want it? Do you want it? Like that kind of concept. It looked like it seems. So it is what it is. Yeah, and let me be be scrupulous and give him a 75. Man of the match. Who is your man of the match? Now is this time of the show. You know, before we end this, man of the match, Irishman. Who is your man of the match?
I can't go against crowd. Everyone's saying Harvey Elliott, so I'll go Harvey
You
Elliott.
give it to Harvey? Okay. JK, who is your man of the match? Oh, maybe he's still thinking about it. I guess he's still thinking about it, maybe. Yes.
Yep. For me, man of the match, Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott.
Philip Scott, man of the match. Harvey Ringlets Elliott. Who is your man of the match? Who is your man of the match, people? I'm still looking to see. So far, only Stefano's given. Okay, Stefano just said man of the match, Elliott. Okay. I know. I'm Bernadette said Harvey. Okay. Guys are making me change my graphics. Give me 1 second to make this graphic. Yeah. I know. Pops, give me it. I got you.
I haven't seen anyone else. I haven't seen any other.
Yeah. So the man of the match is. The man of the match is. Just joking. It is Harvey Elliott. Is our man of the match. Our man of the match is Harvey Elliott. For sure, he deserves it. I understand he deserves it. He's played so well, and play with heart. You know, that's something that we sometimes neglect to say with some of the players, but yeah, I'll bring it back. Make sure you guys see it. Harvey Elliott, man of the match. Despite the fact that I had Cody as my man of the match, I am the man of the people. Though this is the people's channel, so we will go with Harvey Elliott. We will go Harvey Elliott as the man of the match. Shout out to Cody, though, all the same. Shout out to Cody. All right, you guys. So we're going to land the plane here. Is there anything you guys want to say? Any parting thoughts about the game that you want to make sure that the people hear before we allow for everyone to go on to their final destinations? JK, we can start with you.
No. Hopefully the fans enjoyed the game yesterday. Got 2 more games from Klopp. Enjoy them.
2 games and counting. Yes,
that was mad.
2 games and counting. How about for you, Irishman?
The only thing I want to say is that I predicted it was going to be 4-2, and it was 4-2. So there you
go. Okay. Definitely, I was giving you props for saying
right.
I think.
Yeah,
it's definitely giving you props for saying that. You definitely got to spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Oracle. I'm going to set up my own channel.
You are good. You and Gene. Gene's also good.
Yeah, Gene is good at making predictions, and you've been pretty spot on with a lot of your predictions.
You both said 4-2 yesterday, yeah.
Yep.
I had 42% battery when you said it.
Yeah. Tomorrow's a big day, guys. Tomorrow's a big day. So dress to impress tomorrow.
Is it?
Dress to impress. Yes, Pops. We just gave Gene a shout too. Jean Gray, of course, one of our Reds queens. She got it spot on with the 4-2 as well. She did.
Yeah, but I broke it down.
But
I said someone was going to cook Royale. I called it all, man.
Yeah.
I called it all.
Yeah.
I used up all my prophecies in 1 week, though. So.
Oh, let's hope not. We still got 2 games to get some calls for. What are we going to be wearing tomorrow for the big awards show? That's the big question. So we'll see what we end up doing tomorrow. when it comes to dress to impress, because we are certainly going to have a fun little run with the season end award show that we have coming up for Liverpool. Should be fun time. Should be a fun little encounter. It's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. The thumbnail's already up, so be sure to put that down in your calendars. We would love to see see you at the awards gala, and it should be a fun little yeah. There you go.
I'll be there under duress.
Very interested to see that, Bernie, for sure.
Bernie, obviously, Bernie has a tiara. Don't pretend she hasn't been to places where she is. Yeah,
tiaras are all optional. You can, if you wear what you like to this red carpet event, for sure. You can wear what you like. But yes, just tell us whether you're eating, like if you're gonna if we need to do a kosher meal, vegetarian meal, or if you want the fish, or you want the actual or another type of entree,
beef or salmon. That's what they call it over here, man. Beef or salmon.
Okay.
But I can't believe you. I can't believe you haven't made a red carpet reference here. It's just
certainly. So we will all see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see not only you, but your plus ones, your plus twos. This is a plus one and more event. So bring whoever you like to the event. It's going to be a fun engagement, to say the least. But until then, let me say this and stress this enough. As we all mentioned earlier about whatever is going on with Darwin and whatever the reasons why he's dealing with the abuse, or dealing with the things that we're dealing with.
Yeah, definitely chill with the old abuse there.
Yeah. Let's chill
with the old.
Let's keep it to where we can get a place where we can have these forums, we can have these discussions, but we don't get to the point where we start making it feel uncomfortable for others to participate, where you feel uncomfortable being in a place where you can possibly get reassurances in your life, from each other, by saying you have the support out there, because you do out there. Always know that it gets better always, and also know that there's those of us that definitely have your back, are going to be supportive of you. But if necessary, don't hesitate to reach out to ask for professional assistance if necessary. There is parts and points where at times all of us have at times had moments and down moments in our lives, and it's a matter of knowing that we have the support to make a difference in our lives. That makes a difference. So again, try to focus on taking care of yourself so that you can take care of your loved ones always and utmost. And what can I say, people? Blessings to each and every one of you, and up the Reds as always. Take care and see you guys tomorrow.